Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the DSL TCRs for right now, but we'll have F3s coming up. But DSL sponsoring the TCRs in the F3, and our round sponsor for the TCRs, Winton Brown Tools, and on side of me is Brendan. Brendan, we need to find Brendan a name. So we were coming up with we were coming up with names, and apparently we're going to call him Brendo King. Which I'm not gonna call him that the whole stream, but we're gonna have to find something. So if anyone's in chat tonight, come up with a few. But anyway, welcome to the Combox, Brendo.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the trumpets and the horse-drawn carriage and the whole lot. Yeah, no, certainly need a bit of a nickname. Pixie sounds a bit weak, so I'd like something nice and strong to be a fair representation of myself. Straight in, shots fired straight away. Anyway, we're here. We are racing at Winton, and we've got the track info up on screen. It's a mild 24 degrees here. Clear skies, brilliant weather here. And this is probably becoming one of the fastest growing favourites in the iRacing sim for Australian drivers. Certainly the most recent? No, Sandown came after that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly a little bit more technical. It suits these TCRs down to the bone. We're really going to see some great racing here. Bit of a small field, obviously, here again as we are nearing the end of the season. Drivers are starting to dwindle out. And it seems, as always, the Audi requires that aggressive driving style. That Veloster certainly has the most downforce, the most mechanical grip. It's going to be certainly a car to watch, and we have one hell of a battle heating up here, Connor, between Scotty Rankin and Brad Wall.
Oh, mate, it's heating up big time, isn't it? We're on round 8 right now, and it's just slowly getting there. And I was talking to Scotty, obviously Scotty's my good mate, and he said when the drop rounds come into it now, ladies and gentlemen at home, if you don't know what a drop round is, basically it's basically your worst round. So it's, say for instance, on one round you get 50 points, and the other round you've got 20. Basically, we'll get rid of that really... not a great round. We'll get rid of those points, and that's what a drop round is basically in short terms. And Scotty figured out he is leading when the drop rounds come in, but he said it's going to be very tight. So Doug and Scotty are going to battle it out to the end. And Scotty said he's just going to be nice and clean. And talking about Doug, we got one of the velocities on screen, but Dylan DeBono as well. He's pretty close on the championship, and but Doug really warming up to Scotty, and it's getting better and better each week. So we'll see what happens. And that's the kind of info. And it's actually not raining for once in Melbourne. Oh, Bono in the wall there.
Yeah, well, I've got some inside information here from Doug, actually. Interesting you sort of mentioned him there. He, obviously racing in the Audi, he purchased the Veloster this week to give it a bit of a go. And he was setting sort of lap times pretty consistently in the 125s. He says the big difference between the two cars is that the Audi, you really have to use an aggressive driving style. You've got to put the car on the edge and really fight for your time. Whereas he said the Veloster seemed a little bit smoother, the time came a bit more easier. He was setting times into the low 25.2s. Obviously track conditions here today might affect that time difference a little bit. The early qualifying laps we're seeing the 127s, yeah, so he must have been in some very different track conditions to be a couple of seconds faster a lap.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about, Cal and I, the Veloster, the Audi, and the Elantra. They're all so different, and the Honda, obviously, they're all so different, and the driving styles are all different. But talking about Scotty just before, every week we've been kind of, he's been taking us on a hot lap, and he's back in the green room. I reckon we might throw him in and give us a hot lap, eh, Brendo?
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Hey,
right.
Scotty, you're in, mate, so take us away for this next lap, mate. Go for it.
Oh, mate, what a track Winton is. Remember, earlier on in the season, ladies and gentlemen, we only got to go for a bingle around the good old club circuit. Wasn't that a ton of fun? Whole bunch of Audis not able to touch curbs. All right, they're coming out of last corner because I'm trying to talk to you guys. I've upshifted into third gear. I should have taken the corner in second or first, depending on how much grip I have. The tyres have just come up to the temperature. They're still on their way up. They're not quite up to pressure yet, but the grip's coming. I can clamber all over the curbs there through 1 and 2, and got to watch out for the dip on the left as you crest over the hill. Can turn into a jump, can ruin your front with that slide over. Make sure you don't run too tight, too wide right there. Same here. Pick up the throttle too early. You'll run over the edge of this curbing on the edge. Pick up a little bit of grass, a little bit of dust. I'll pick you up a 1X. That loses you any shot at finishing the first car with a bonus point. Tonight, I can use a little bit of curbing through here. The car will like it. The Veloster loves it. Good little thing. It screams. It makes awesome sounds. It bounces over curbs. That's why I love the thing. In and around the tree, this is tricky here. Slow speed. How are you going to take it? When you're following somebody in the race, you'll take different lines. Maybe you'll try and shove a nose somewhere they're not expecting. Look out for that during the race. Turn it in here nice and early. Get back to the power. Use all the exit curbing. Don't get back to the power too aggressively. Run off the track again. Down here, exactly the same thing. Little bit deceiving. You can use all this curbing all the way out on the right, but if you pick up the throttle, you run over it again. Instant point, lap over, race done. Down the end of you, once again, they look like the early apex corners. You want to turn in early, get back to the power. It's not exactly the case. Down here, last lap, I picked up the throttle, shifted 2 gears too early. We're going to make up a ton of time on this lap, but ultimately there's still time to find. Those tyres have come up to pressure all night long. Who's going to make mistakes on those opening laps?
Mate, that's it, isn't it? It's all about mistakes and who actually minimises them. And, yeah, talking about mistakes. Thanks for Scotty for jumping in, mate. What a great lap, and we'll see you on track, mate. Good luck for tonight.
Mate, how about that championship battle, though? It is going to be
we've already talked about it, mate. It's a cracker, and we can't wait for it, eh?
That second spot on the podium's got your name all over it, Scotty. I got faith in you.
Second spot. All right, yeah. Thanks for
no comment,
here, guys. No, but seriously, big shout out to Doug. Big shout out to Dylan DeBono. They've done an awesome, cracking job at making the racing really, really tight and exciting. Dylan's taught me a whole bunch of things about car positioning and about the way that I approach overtakes and the way that I approach defense. Doug has taught me things about racecraft, things about driving really, really smart that I didn't think I was capable of. So it's been awesome. And more mistakes. So I better get back to this driving thing, eh?
Yeah, driving's always a bit of a key of driving fast, Scotty. So good luck with it.
You've seen me drive. I'm not capable of driving fast.
No comment again. We'll probably catch up with you in the green room, Scotty. So good luck, mate, in the race.
Yeah, head down, boys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, mate. Scotty Rankin in the booth. Always love him. He takes us for a lap every week. Oh, Dylan DeBono just using a bit of grass. But how's that, Brendo? Just such a knowledgeable dude, isn't he? Just knows everything. I've been learning off him, and it's just amazing to hear what his insight is and how he knows the track and just everything, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you say you're learning off him. It's interesting to hear from him as well that he's learning off others. So it really goes to show, the camaraderie throughout the league and throughout this series. That guys are willing to help each other out. They're trying to put on the best show possible. And obviously we all want to promote really good racing. So, it's great to see guys helping each other out. And definitely throughout the week, Scotty's the kind of guy, he's the kind of racer that puts a lot of time into his racing. He looks at his lines, he's putting in the time, getting in that practice. And it's really paying off, obviously giving him a really good shot at the championship. So as we have just 5 minutes left, I was reading that wrong. 5 minutes left. Oh no, hang on, we've used 5 minutes. It's going up, not going down. 9 minutes, so we've got 6 minutes left in qualifying. Geez, maths is a bit shocking tonight. So far, Dylan DeBono in the 126.1s. Doug Gowan sitting in second place with a 26.86. Matthew Gerard a 127.3. Scotty Rankin sitting down there in 6th place with a 127.8. But as you heard him say, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for passing here tonight. It's going to be a very close on-track battle, we predict. There's a few different lines through those corners around the tree, etc. Is going to make for some pretty exciting wheel-to-wheel racing. And of course, being the penultimate round, I think we're going to see a few guys make a few moves that are going to that are going to either make or break this championship.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And I was talking to Scotty and even Jake. I said it's just for a championship. It's consistency, consistency, consistency. You don't always need to be up the front. You can be kind of down the back. But if you're putting, say for instance, you've got 10 rounds, right? You go 10 rounds and you're in the top 5 every time, not failing. Like the car doesn't get a DNF. You don't, you know, just crap basically happens, and if you're always in the top 5, that you're in the championship 100%. And you know, and all 3 of these contenders have just been consistent. I can't fault Dylan DeBono, Doug Gowan, or Scotty Rankin at all. Like you look at Scotty at Sandown, he's that type of dude that comes away from it and goes, right, this was what was wrong. I need to fix on this. And, you know, Scotty and Jake were actually talking about it. Scotty said, I had too much rear-wheel brake, and he said the thing just started snapping. And he said, I need to fix on that. Then even Jake was like, I was making a mistake every now and then, but he was the most consistent of the night. And that's what I've been saying from day one, is consistency, consistency, consistency. And, but Dylan DeBono, how's the pace he's got? Brendo, it's just absolutely amazing. Of course, he's going into real life racing and TCRs, and that's very exciting. So well done to Dylan. And obviously, Doug, he's just the most cool, calm, collected racer in this championship right now. And sorry, Brendo, I'm talking away.
Yeah, no, it's all good. And I mean, just to reiterate that point there you were saying about consistency, you know, you look at Brett Hobbs in the sprint cars on Tuesday nights. Across 8 rounds, he hasn't won a single race. Yet he leads the championship by 2 points going into the final round. Just showing up every week, because obviously last night he had a power cut, so that was his 1 drop round as a 0. But boy, big moment.
Dylan
DeBono sending it in hard. Scotty Rankin with the purple sector in the middle as well. But yeah, as I was saying, just showing up every week, putting in consistent results. That's what makes a championship. It's no good winning a race one week and then not showing up next week. So we'll follow Scotty over the line, and he's jumped up into 2nd place. Still 2 tenths in at 126.32. 2 tenths off Dylan DeBono's best time.
But yeah, like I was saying too, Brendo, it's these guys that the top 3, they're always working on their racecraft, their lines, their trail braking, the setup of the car, like getting the brake bias correct, like going, okay, I need to dial it up a bit more than my last lap. Okay, now I need to dial back a bit more. Okay, the suspension needs to go a bit softer. Like stuff like that is a win or break. You know, 0 to 100 is what they say. And it's basically, yeah, just consistency, and I think all 3 of them have it.
Yeah, Bradley Wall just completing his first lap there, or first decent lap. He's only been able to open up with a 127, so he's down in 9th place still. So watch for him to improve on lap times. Meanwhile, Scotty Rankin's got a couple of oranges and a purple again, so unlikely to improve on his previous time. Dylan Shepherd also with a couple of greens, currently down in 6th place, looking to improve his time. He'll be coming across the line shortly as well. Yeah, Scotty not improving there. Dylan Shepherd, yeah, no improvement again there, remains in 6th place.
Jake Jackson jumped up to P4 as well not too long ago, so he's improved by 2 spots. He's done really well. Yeah, who else? Greg Johnson's in P7, that's a really good one. Greg's definitely working on driving these things. He's the only Honda out on the track, as I can see. Team Greg in the bright blue Honda, but Greg has been improving every week, and sitting in P7 right now, he'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Honda is probably the smoothest car to drive, but definitely not the fastest. So around a track like this, where it is quite technical, you need a lot of downforce, a lot of turn, and the Honda could come into its own. So it'll be interesting to see how Greg goes tonight, especially once he's around some other cars in the race situation. I think he'll be one to watch. He's qualified pretty well for his standards up there in the mid-pack. So plenty of potential here tonight. As we see Dylan DeBono with a purple sector just missing out by 7,000th of a second on his previous best time.
He's improved the tiniest little bit, nothing massive.
Yeah, and that does bring up our checkered flag as well. So Tyler Sheaf, probably the only one still looking to improve. Greg Johnson did get over the line. So he and Bradley Wall as well. Oh no, so it looks like they're all still on laps. A few more than I thought. Greg Johnson and Bradley Wall, green sectors through 2.
Greg Johnson's on a green.
In 10th.
Greg Johnson's on a complete green sector, so is Brad Wall. We were talking about him. See if he improves. Jake Jackson just having an off track there, so each lap won't count. So let's see, right on board with Brad here, see if he improves. Let's keep watching as Greg is in front of him as well. So it's all about lap times, and they're just going to have to push these cars to the limit. They're going to come down the last section now, use all the power on the exit. So Greg's just coming out of the last corner of the track. Let's see what time he does. Running on board with Brad Wall, like I said. Greg, I don't think he's moved up.
He's improved, but he hasn't moved. Bradley does move up 1 into 8th.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of a disappointing qualifying, I would think, for Bradley. Would expect him to be a little bit higher up, but
I tell you what, he has. I mean, he's probably thinking, oh, it's disappointing, but he has improved on his practice time, so he has done well there. Brad is definitely. I was talking to who was I talking about? Brad. I think it was Steve. And Steve said he's just been improving bit by bit with everything right now. He's so improving, and for a PA, it's not too bad, Brendo, to be honest, because now he can kind of sit in the back, and if there's a crash, he can avoid it. So he's actually not in a bad spot at all. But yeah, that's how qualifying finished, and Dylan DeBono on the top set. He's done well. Now, here comes our results. Dylan DeBono, P1, Scotty Rankin, P2, Doug Gowan. So those are our top 3 for the championship, and all 3 of them in the top 3. So that'll be interesting. That's all going to be for basically who can get the best result for tonight. Jake Jackson in P4, he's done well. He did really well at Sandown. He got a P1 at Sandown last round. Matty Gerard, he's done really well. He's been improving in the GT3s, and I think he's improving with the TCRs as well. So good result for him. P6 Dylan Shepherd, he's done really well. I can't remember what track it was, but I think it was Phillip Island. He was really, really strong there. So it's good to see him back up there as well. Greg Johnson in P7, he's done well. Bradley Wall, P8. Nathan Allen, he's improving with his road racing, so he'd be happy be up there. In P9, Tyler Sheaf in P10, same as Nathan Allen. He's getting back into the sim. Not the same as Nathan Allen, but he's getting back into the sim and trying to improve. Daniel Fritz is your P11, so he'll be the last one on the grid, and the rest of the race stewards.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned there Nathan Allen, Tyler Sheaf. Those two are very dominant. Well, not dominant, but they're very prolific competitors on the dirt oval. So it's good to see them transition over into the road racing, and it's good to see them having some success as well. Nathan Allen currently in a 4-way battle for the dirt oval series. Tyler Sheaf, after missing a few rounds, does find himself a little bit further back in the points, but definitely a driver to watch. On the dirt, plenty of potential there, and those skills starting to transfer over onto the road as well. Yeah.
Now, the one person I'll be watching tonight is Jake Jackson. I wonder if he's going to get in the way of these 3 to get a good result, or is he going to sit back? Let's see what happens. So the lights are up. We'll wait for all red to come up and drop. Round 8, Warren Brown, round sponsor, and we're gone. That was a very quick start. Dylan DeBono, awesome jump there. Scotty Rankin a bit further back. So down to turn 1, Greg Johnson's jumped up a spot there. Side by side with Dylan. He's done really well, back to single file. 45-minute race as well. Coming down to turn 2 now. Or turn 3.
Great little overtake there from Greg Johnson off the start. Got caught on the outside, had to concede the position back again. Single file coming up through the track now. Drivers will just be trying to find their grip levels, find their lines, start waiting for their opportunities.
Be all about tyre temperature as well. Jake Jackson just sitting behind Doug there. I don't think Doug got a great launch as well. I thought Doug would have jumped Scotty there, or De Bono just absolutely just got the perfect start out of all of them, it looked like. Oh, one of them off there.
It's Dylan Shepherd off in the background.
Oh, he's rejoining next to Greg Johnson there. Greg's giving him heaps of room there, a lot of respect. Greg's giving him too much respect. Now someone's passed him. That's Matty Gerard getting by in the velocity car. So Matty Gerard's just making another spot. He's in our AM class for GT3s. He's very Mr. Consistent. The Flying Kiwi, I've nicknamed him recently. So he's doing very well.
Yeah, so it seems as though there's been a question from the drivers in regards to that rejoin. Looked pretty clean watching it live. Obviously Greg had to yield a little bit, but not so much that it's cost anybody the racing position, track position rather. So Scotty Rankin leads the train. Dylan De Bono pulling away from the field a little bit here in the early stages. Doug Gowans and Jake Jackson, as you mentioned, one to watch. Just keeping nice and close with Scotty, not looking too aggressive right now.
I would say that.
Fiddling in.
Sorry, Brendo. I was going to say, I'd say they're fuel saving, Doug and Jake and Scotty. They haven't. I would actually wonder if they're saving fuel, if we can get riding on board with them, because Dylan De Bono's pulled away. I don't know if that's off sheer pace. Riding on board with Scotty now. Let's have a listen and see if he's fuel saving. He can clutch in with these cars. The Audi can't, so that's a lift and coast. So that's how you save fuel, is clutching in. No clutch in there. It could be saving tyres as well.
Yeah, it looks like he is short shifting a little bit. Not drastically, but certainly not getting the most out of the RPM in the car. So, yeah, perhaps playing the fuel game early. Obviously, a 45-minute race. You want to try and have as much fuel at the end as possible to try and fight with. If you can push that stint out that first stint out as long as possible, it's going to give yourself a little bit more tyres as well.
I mean, look at Sunday, Brendo. Fuel was a massive key in that race. So, as we saw.
Yeah, I was waiting to see how long it'll take you to bring that up.
Pumping up my own tyres.
Yeah.
I'm riding on board with Tyre Sheaf. He's moved up a little bit.
3 minutes into the race and he brings up his Bathurst 1000 podium. Jeez.
Hey, you need to take, you gotta put a little bit of it in.
Oh, mate, definitely. You played the strategy game well. I have to give you credit for that one. It was a great race to watch. That was for sure. But down the back of the pack, now we're starting to see a little bit of action. A couple of overtakes here and there. Bradley Wall putting a bit of pressure on Tyler Sheaf here. We ride on the back of Tyler Sheaf. We see Bradley Wall just starting to poke his nose coming into the entry of the corner.
Yeah, all Brad needs to do here is just get a little dive on the entry, and he has, right up the inside. What a great move there. That was an absolute brilliant move by Brad. Really good move there.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go to the DSL Welding Services replay. We'll get that from the out-of-car view. And he's come in quite late, really. He's...
no, so Tyler's actually ran wide. So
Tyler's kicked up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's pure understeer. I think he's hasn't... you said he was a dirt guy. He's probably not used to this front-wheel drive action. So we'll just rewatch it. Yeah, I think that's pure understeer. Yep, that's understeer. Fair enough. So he said he put his brakes on, and Brad's got parked by him, so well done to him.
Yeah, it looks as though he got a little bit nervous. It looks like he could have actually made that corner. He's just checked up a little bit extra.
Oh, brakes
off in the foreground there. So that's going to cost him a few positions.
Oh, he was doing really well there.
good thing about Winton is it turns into a rallycross track very quickly. There's no concrete walls or barriers. So as long as he doesn't give away too much track, as long as he doesn't gain too much track position, sorry, he should be able to rejoin the track without too much of a slowdown forced by iRacing. He has lost a good 3 or 4 positions in that little incident, though, as the battle continues there. We jump back up to the top. Doug Gowan starting to put some pressure now on Scotty Rankin.
Dylan Shepherd's got by Jake Jackson as well, so Jake might have just let him go. Does know there's a championship involved this.
Yeah, Dylan Shepherd setting the new fastest lap of the race too, that last lap with a 1:27.11.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say there's fuel saving going on, Brendo. Just
Yeah, definitely.
Bits and pieces.
And I think it shows that De Bono is looking to run a bit more aggressively, so he's just taken the fastest lap again. A 1:26.86, so the first guy to jump down into the 26s. So certainly a bit of pace being, a difference in pace being displayed here from the top 4 or 5 guys at this early stage of the race.
And we talk about fuel saving, glossed over like a brief bit there, but it's pretty crucial, because if you can save a second or 2 in a pit stop, that's huge. That's mega. If you can, like I say, if you can shave off 2 seconds, that's probably like 4 seconds on track when you think about it. Because the time you get out there, you could have jumped the guy because you've saved 2 seconds. It's massive in pit stops. On track it doesn't mean much, but in pit stops it's huge.
Yeah, great little battle down the back, starting to form up now as well as Greg Johnson catches the back of the train. Already makes the move over Daniel Fritz very nicely. He's got Tyler Sheaf up ahead of him now, looking to make that move down the back of the straight into the, no, it's not the tree, that's the one before. Comes to the last corner.
Greg hasn't got a good launch out of the corner there. Daniel Fritz might make a move here. Nope, so he's backed out of it. Very respectful.
Yeah,
Fritz
willing to get the drive.
Yeah, I think Fritz might just want to get pulled along here. If Greg can slowly carve his way through the field, Fritz would be right there and get another position. Tyler Sheaf just pulling away from Greg there. Looks like Greg might have a bit of damage, just seeing how much Tyler pulled on him there. Can't confirm that he has damage, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's possible when he went cross-country, he, gave the suspension a bit of a shock or something like that, but he's going to poke them up the inside, backs out of it, doesn't commit to the move. Yeah, potentially might have a little bit of damage or geometry damage there from riding the bumps in the off-field, but doesn't look to be causing him too much trouble.
Yeah, could be just a bit of toe. Oh, he's going to run it on the outside. He's really trying to hold on to this. This is a good line up to the next corner. No, he's backed out of it. Oh, thought he was going to commit there. That would have been a great move.
I think he had to switch a little bit defensive because Daniel Fritz had a good little run out of that last corner as well. So again, he goes or tries to go side by side, coming into the top of the track here. This is where are we? It's so hard. This is the northern corner. The cameras on the iRacing are actually a bit hard to follow where you are on track.
The back of the track.
Yeah,
here.
this is the second to last corner now.
Last corner here. So Sheaf's got a good exit there. So he's just going to pull Greg along here now. See if it looks like Sheaf's just gaining a bit of time on the straight. I don't know if the Honda's, if he's got a bit of engine damage or a bit of toe damage. Oh, Fritz off the track.
Big mistake from Fritz. Has he kept it out of the tyres? Yeah, he's bounced off them.
Yeah.
So he'll crawl back around to the pit lane. We'll jump onto the DSL Welding Services replay. We'll see what's happened there.
Too much. Yeah, brake. Just went too deep into the corner and it looks like he's just going to bounce off the wall. Yep, bang. I wonder how much damage that is, because iRacing's physics, I'll tell you what, they're amazing. Yeah, look at that front left. That's got a bit of camber damage. On the I found out recently you can get camber and toe damage, so definitely it's definitely real, and it's a killer when you do have it, because it cooks off the tires and just going off the track there.
Yeah, I think he's struggling to get that back to the pits a little bit. He's certainly off the pace. No doubt we'll see him be pulling into the pit lane. Meanwhile, back up the front, we've got Scotty Rankin still under pressure from Doug Gowans, and Dylan Shepherd's caught onto the back of that little battle pack as well. And actually, Scotty's caught back up to De Bono, so perhaps he has slowed down. He's dropped a couple of seconds a lap just in the last 2 laps there. So all of a sudden, that top 4 right back together again.
Yeah, still on the replay DSL up on the side there. So we'll just go back on now. There's Fritz. And there we go. There's De Bono on screen. The Velocity Motorsports car leading the field. Oh,
move up the inside from Gowans.
No, that's Dylan on the outside. Gowan's got a good run out the inside. Bit of contact there. Gowan's going to get a good run out here if Dylan covers it, and he has. What a great move that was. That was sublime. That was awesome.
Jack Scotty's starting to look for a move now as well. You saw him pop out to the outside.
This is Scotty's opportunity. If he gets around Dylan De Bono, he can. Shepherd can deal with De Bono. That's how you kind of think. You're like, okay, how can I use Shepherd as a bit of a tool here? You know, if I could swap these guys around, I could pull away. So I reckon Scotty's going to make a move, and he's right on the back of the De Bono there. Shepherd's really close to Scotty though. See what happens here. Hard on the brakes. Shepherd really on the back there, almost contact. Scotty's went really wide. He's going to hit the curb. Bang!
That's cost him. Shepherd got a bit loose out of the corner, but he's managed to get a good run. And he's pulled up and got ahead of Scotty into turn 2, or turn 3, I suppose you call it after the S's. So he takes second place. Scotty right on the back of him. Look at that. He's not mucking around. He wants that position back straight away.
That's going to give him a bit of damage on the front wing and a bit of camber damage, I reckon, too. Because that car bounced up pretty severely. That was not good. So Jake's just here on the back here, just waiting patiently. Jake's one of these guys will wait until the right opportunity comes, and bang, he'll take it. But I reckon he might just be fuel saving behind these guys. Dylan Shepherd is on the back of De Bono here, really trying to push De Bono along. I think De Bono's trying to save a little bit of fuel. That's why Scotty bring him back in. Yeah, De Bono having a bit of a slide on exit. Let's see if Shepherd can get him now. Shepherd getting a really good exit there.
And Doug's starting to poke his nose on Scotty Rankin as well. So Scotty's got to be also quite defensive as well as trying to attack at the same time. But that little battle pack's now become 5 cars. Further on in the background, we just had a report from Race Control, an incident between the 61 Egrington and 8 Tyler Sheath, which was put down to netcode. Doesn't look like it's cost them too much. They're still running in the same positions though. But all the action definitely up the front here. This little battle pack of 5 is...
Oh, Shepherd's went wide and hit that curve. Again. Shepherd's just absolute... Oh, sorry.
That curve is deadly, eh?
Look at it. That thing's munting.
Was it in the radicals earlier on in the season? We saw the car end up hitting that curb and go flying up over the fence. That was one impressive crash.
That was awesome. That was one of the top 5 moments of SRW for sure. Oh, look at Shepherd's car here. Just unfortunate that he's hit that curb. Oh, that's a lot of damage, Brendo. That's a lot of damage. I wonder if he can carry this through until the pit stop. Doug almost making a move on Scotty in the background as well. So this could give Shepherd a bit of an advantage here to pull away. And talking about the other Dylan, De Bono's pulling away from Shepherd. So this is what De Bono exactly wanted. He wanted Shepherd to make a move on Scotty, and look at Shepherd. He's got that damage, so that will affect.
Yeah, Doug with the run on Scotty now as well, up the inside, coming into the second to last corner. Yeah, gets it done. Oh, and check out Jake Jackson, also up the inside as well. He gets the move done as well. So just like that, Scotty down 2 positions. He's got the inside run for the first corner. He is side by side. He's going to be fully committed. He's going to want this back.
Backing out. So Jake's backed out of it. I think he's accidentally done that. So that was a good move by Jake, but he's backed out of it. He knows he's not in the championship. Scott yelled at him the other day for not jumping in the TCRs, so it was a bit of a joke. So he's like, "Why are you not in the TCRs?" And Jake was like, "I don't know." So Scotty's basically kicked Jake into the TCRs. Try something different. Jake's a GT3 driver. Something different. But look at DeBono. Look at that gap, Brendo. That's perfect.
Yeah, no, DeBono's starting to pull away again. That was the fastest lap of the race again. So he's certainly got the pace there when he wants to use it. He's opting to fuel save by, you know, pushing out a gap and then just letting the field catch up again. So his strategy at the moment seems to be a bit of a push and pull, whereas the rest of them are sort of battling, but they're not giving it everything. They're sort of sitting about a second and a half off DeBono's quickest pace, but they're running more consistent lap times.
They definitely are, and I just noticed Doug really just getting on the back of Shepherd now. This is where the damage is affecting him. That would be straight line downforce. So the downforce would help him through the corner, and the arrow is for the straight line. So that all that damage there, that's a lot of drag on the straight. So that drag will slow him down on the straight as Shepherd gets really close to the curbs there. That's what happened last time. But how's the damage, Brendo? That's unreal.
They're certainly taking an aggressive line through the S's. They're using as much of the curbs as they possibly dare. You can see the cars starting to jump up, get a little bit unsettled. We heard Scotty mention the Veloster seems to like the curbs, but he's hitting them so hard that it is unsettling the car. It's costing him a little bit of time. So just needs to find that little sweet point there. Jake Jackson sort of all over the back of him. Dylan Shepherd now right up into DeBono again as well. So DeBono on one of those cool down laps, so to speak. And Coach Shepherd now with a genuine shot.
I was gonna say, let's say mode with Shepherd, and I wonder how much. Actually, let's go to Doug. Sorry, I wonder how much time Doug can pull in here on the straight now. Shepherd's actually got a really good launch out of the corner there, but I'm just noticing as well, Scotty's actually dropping back from Doug, so this is not good at all. He might be just fuel saving. Could work.
I definitely think Dylan and Dylan Shepherd and Scotty Rankin are nursing some damage after hitting those curbs quite hard. You can see it's affecting their straight line speed for sure.
Definitely, I think Scotty's. I think with Scotty's would be more cornering, and I think Shepherd's would be more straight. Like, look at the turn in. Scotty barely turned that thing in. So that's right on board with Shepherd now. See what kind of damage he's got.
Yeah, Doug Gowan definitely gained time down the straights, there's no doubt about that. Watching the timing screen, he pulled him in a couple of tenths just in a straight alone.
Yeah, Shepherd going really wide there. That's the optimal line. That's actually the supercar line going through there. He's done well. He's done really well there. He's kind of battling the wheel there. Nothing too too much drama, but there's a little bit there. Toddy pointed out. So now we'll go back onto this little straight. So this is the little. Oh no!
He's running wide.
Steer. So Doug's gonna get the move done. No, Shepherd's cutting back off. That was really risky there.
Very
but
risky.
He's made it work.
Going to lose the position up the inside of the corner. He will hold the inside for the second to last corner. He is going to fight for it back. Certainly a risky rejoin, as you said there, Connor. But it does look like Gowan has made that move stick. Shepherd tucks in behind. He ain't going to get it this time. And Scotty Rankin also capitalising on this. He's gained up and caught up to the... well, hasn't caught up, but certainly closed the gap to the train as well. Pulling away from Jake Jackson, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks like Jake's saving a little bit of fuel there, but now two Velocity cars are out front now. This is what they want. Jake getting super close to that curb. Oh, this is a good battle. Shepherd really pushing Doug through the corner. It looks like Shepherd's really quick through the corners, and Doug's really... Doug is getting him on the straight, and looks like Shepherd's really getting him in the corners. So this is really good for Shepherd's point of view, because there's more corners than straights. Let's see if Shepherd... No, so Doug's covered the line for the inside. That's a good move. But now the exit speed's not going to be as good.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Make it on the outside.
Shepherd certainly looks to have a bit more pace through the corners. He's trying to run the outside line, looking for a potential crisscross setup as well. So he's got that speed through the corners, but yeah, a little bit vulnerable, I think, in the straights. You see even just that little short straight there. Doug Gowans pulls away from him, and Dylan has to really get him under the brakes. But Doug Gowans got a run on Dylan De Bono now. Sticks his nose up to the outside, and he's heading through. That's a team order, if ever there was one.
That's really smart from that team there. Velocity. That's really smart. So what basically De Bono said is, right, I'll cover you, so De Bono will really hold up the whole field here. Now, sounds cruel, but at the same time, this is just genius. See how De Bono's not getting a great launch out of the corner, really holding him up. Now De Bono's got to cover. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So Scotty will be very annoyed at this, because now he's going to get held up by Shepherd and De Bono, and Doug's just going to pull away. Shepherd's just pushing
a bump and run.
That was awesome. Scotty's right there too, but Jake's not far either. So if there's an incident, this could end in shambles. So we'll see what happens down here. Does they make a move?
They're all moving under. Well,
they were moving all under brakes there. I just saw. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, Scotty had a lock up there, and Jake Jackson sort of had nowhere to go but into the back of him. Great car control from Jake Jackson to sort of not make that a very serious accident. But yeah, definitely the tactic game starting now for Velocity Racing. Dylan De Bono, no doubt about it, playing the Checo and holding up the rest of the field. Well, not holding them up, but certainly making it very difficult to pass.
Well, what we've seen recently, Checo and Max don't look like the best friends in the world. So anyway, moving on. So
and Scotty's going into the pits. He's not having a bar of it.
That's good. That's really smart from Scott. So now he's going to get clean air. So let's see where Scott actually rejoins. So if he rejoins in traffic, he's in bad. That's a bad move. But if he joins in clean air, this is a great move from Scott. So he's going to take no tyres, just fuel. Take it away, Brendo.
Yeah, well, a bit of an early stop from Scotty. As you say, that clean air could prove to be all the difference. Especially if he comes out with a full tank of gas and he can start spitting out 26s. With a similar pace to what Gowans and De Bono have been doing, sort of periodically from time to time. Very quick pit stop. Didn't look like he took fuel at all, did he?
Yeah, he did take fuel.
It must have been a very small amount of fuel. Very quick pit stop. Yeah, 6.63 seconds there for Scotty Rankin in the pit lane.
Oh, that's quick.
That's hold time. 33 seconds total transit. So
That's
he comes out, where is he? 8th position now. He's got 2.5 seconds up the road to Greg Johnson. So enough clean air, I think, for Scotty to do a little bit of damage.
Yeah, this is. But let's go actually back to the top of the chain, and let's see what's happening up there, because I wonder what kind of. I'm looking on the track map now. So let's go to Dylan De Bono if he's still there.
Oh yeah, Dylan Shepherd going into the pit lane as well.
Okay,
so he was stuck behind De Bono as well, so he's decided he's not going to sit there and get stuck behind De Bono. He's going to come into the pit lane as well, try and get some clean air. So this will be interesting now to see where Dylan Shepherd comes out in relation to Scotty Rankin.
I was going to say, this is bad for Scotty, but this is good for Jake Jackson. He can just stay with those two now. Right, Shepherd's car's all fixed. Let's stay on Scotty. Alright, here comes Scott. Let's see where Shepherd is.
Dylan's on his way out.
I think Scotty's going to clear him. I think it's going to be really close. Oh, side by side. Scotty's went deep. Is he going to get him? No. Oh, you'd be fuming if you were Scotty.
Oh, that's got to suck for Scotty. Tried to go for the undercut.
Oh.
Very close on the exit. That was some intense little moment there. That's for sure. Scotty, I think, needs to just kind of settle in a little bit. Get the toe from Shepherd. Obviously, just wait for the Velocity boys to go into the pits. That's when they need to make their move.
Yeah, this is when Scott just needs to sit right behind him and not make a move, because he's going to lose time if they're battling. He just needs to sit there, even if they're losing a bit of time, just following each other. If Scott thinks he's got more pace, there's no point passing, because that's 3/4 easily. That's a good pass. So let's just actually we'll go to the top of the field. Sorry, Toddy, I'm throwing you all over the joint. Here's Doug.
De Bono just hits the 125s as well, so He's just gone out and set a 125.8. Gowan's still ahead of him. His best lap time 126.6, so 0.8 of a second quicker is De Bono. Looking like he wants to sort of line up a pass again. Jake Jackson is what?
He's
3
saving
seconds
fuel.
further back. I think he might be. He's 3 seconds back up the road. He's certainly lost a bit of time to the leaders.
He's saving fuel. Okay, so Jake's out of it. He needs to fuel save if he wants to do anything tonight. Because so he's definitely fuel saving. He was sitting there the whole race. So I wonder how much fuel he's actually saved. It was only a 6-second stop, so I wonder how much fuel that is. I don't think it'd be much at all, Brendo.
No, I don't think so. These things don't use a lot of fuel really either, to be fair. They've got quite small tanks, and the burn rate isn't all that high. Scotty and Dylan just both took off tracks there on the in the background as well. So there goes their clean race. But yeah, the burn rate isn't huge. De Bono into the pit lane now from second place.
If Jake can save fuel and make it to the end, that's GG's basically. GG's means good game. So
yeah, I don't know if he's going to get all the way to the end, but certainly a splash and dash. The pit stop time doesn't be very long, and a mistake there from Dylan.
That was really close. Oh, Dylan almost cut him off.
Oh, he's
giving him no room.
Giving him a bit of a push.
Scotty actually flashing the lights, going, "You haven't given me any room." Let's see where De Bono sits out on this. Where's De Bono?
Yeah, he's going to clear them easily.
Oh, it's close.
Dylan Shepherd ain't going to give up easily, though. He's trying to make the move. Scotty all over the back, bit of a bump, going to the outside.
That's a good move. This is where...
contact again!
That'll
definitely be a drive-through.
Oh, no. That could have killed Scotty.
Yeah, definitely. So, not only is Scotty calling for a racing incident, he's also calling for an unsafe rejoin from De Bono. So, a couple of incidents there for race control to unpack.
No, I don't think they're calling about... No, it's the one before. Yeah, last lap. Yeah, that's... I'm no race control, but I'm going to say there's no room being given there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It looks as though they've run Scotty wide off the track, so I would expect that to be a drive-through penalty in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not in race control. Bradley Wall coming into the pit lane, as is Matty Gerard. Dylan De Bono now back in 5th. He'll get those 2 positions back with Matty and Brad in the pit lane. Scotty's down in 7th at the moment. He is still the next car on track behind Shepherd and De Bono.
So Gerard in pits, now he's on the exit. Yeah, that sucks for Scotty. He's going to have to do one hell of a recovery drive. They was talking about at Sandown, he's always sick of being down the back trying to do a redrive, like coming back through the field. He said he just wants to be at the front. He's making too many mistakes. So this is, Scotty would not be liking this at all right now.
Oh, look, I think the thing too, though, is he can't blame himself for that one either.
No, he can't.
It was good, hard racing, and I do believe we will see a drive-through of some, or a penalty of some description, because definitely from the comms point of view, it looked as though he was running a race. Not given enough race room to make the corner. And of course, there's that potential unsafe rejoin as well. So, a couple of options there for Scotty in regards to playing the race control in his favour. A bit of the DRS system at work. He's got a couple of reviews up his sleeve. Race control certainly taking their time with it, though.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a tough one for race control. For the first one, when Dylan kind of came down on him, I don't know, we didn't really fully see it. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying what I saw. But yeah, it is a bit of a tough one. But yeah, we'll see what race control will do. We're not we're commentators, not race control. So running on board with Scotty now. But yeah, that's that really affects Scotty now. So roughly sitting in probably. Oh, there's a bit of a right in the wall. So
yeah, just coming out of the pit lanes a couple of laps ago as well. So certainly it had a pretty hard contact there. It seems that's coming off the S's.
Fellow Kiwi as well. So bang! Oh yeah. So we know the Audi doesn't like the curbs at all, and look at that. That just oh! So he didn't even hit the tyre barrier. It was actually the wall. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hurt. That could just about be race over for him. He'll have to transit the lane again for some repairs.
Unfortunate. Fellow Kiwi, though.
Yeah, fellow Kiwi. It's always I don't like to mention that because whenever I do, they seem to end up in the wall like that. But on his own accord this time, so I think it's all right.
For all the viewers at home, why I'm laughing about it is because we were talking about Bruce Tanner the other day, and it was in practice, and we were like Brendo was rooting for Brendo, and Brendo was rooting for Bruce, and Bruce in practice just accidentally had a spin. We had a good chuckle at it, so that's why Brendo doesn't mention about any Kiwis anymore.
The commentator's curse is real. Let's just say that.
Oh, it probably is. It is genuinely true. I've seen it way too many times. Tyson McAvoy at Suzuka, I think that was probably the worst one. Talking about how good he was, and yeah, he ended up in the wall, and that was the race done. So unfortunate for Tyson, but yeah, it was proper curse. So
great for the broadcast team, though. That's for sure.
So Doug's still out. This is actually a really smart move from Doug. So now he's got just clean air. This is where he can just bang out some good lap. DeBono just done his fastest lap time. So we'll right on with Doug here, but we'll go back to his teammate. Bit of a look. I'll tell you what, if DeBono keeps putting out good lap times, he could actually overtake Doug.
Yeah, DeBono's definitely got the pace. I think he's going to make that time up while Gowans is in the pit lane. Dylan Shepherd just trying to close that gap down onto Bono, but DeBono just has that extra half a second up his sleeve, it seems, at the moment. The last lap only 2/10, but certainly when DeBono sets one of those flyers, gets down into the 25s, it really separates the mice from the men, and DeBono can just show he's that little bit quicker. He's got it in the tank when he wants to pull it out. Yeah, definitely. I mean, DeBono is a proper TCR driver in real life now. How cool is that? What an opportunity. Checking out his Facebook the other day, and he's driven all kinds of stuff, Brendo. He's driven the new Porsche Cup 992. Huge curb there. He's driven a TCR, he's driven XLs, he's driven all of them, mate. And he's such a young fella, and he's done all this now. It's pretty impressive. Oh, here we go. Race control coming back on now.
Oh.
So, word in from race control, there'll be no further action in regards to the unsafe rejoin. However, the incident we saw, which resulted in Scotty Rankin being forced off the track, has been deemed, what was the official wording? Failing to leave racing room after returning to the racing line, and he will earn himself a 5-second post-race penalty for that one. So that is something to keep in mind as the results come in. Dylan Shepherd will be receiving a 5-second post-race penalty at the end of this one.
Well, the thing Scott needs to pull in now is just pull in a second or two just to get P4. But this is definitely not what Scott wants tonight. He wanted a podium, and if nothing happens from here, we'll see what happens, Because he's got to pull in a lot of ground now. You can just see the little green buzz box coming back in there. It's on shot there, but yeah, this is a bit of a tough night for Scotty Rankin.
Yeah, so the gap at the moment is just under 6 seconds. So yeah, you're pretty well right on. Needs to try and close up about a second. So Jake Jackson from the lead comes into the pit lane now. He's got Tyler Sheaf in the transit lane in front of him. also heading into the pit lane. So be very interesting to see where Jake Jackson rejoins on track. Gowan's still out, yet to make his stop. DeBono closing in that time, 14 seconds now. So it's going to be another close one on the pit lane, I think. And Chief, the lap traffic. Oh, this is dodgy.
He's let him go.
Decides to let him go.
Jake's got DeBono.
And yeah,
Massively.
Jake stayed out. And to Jake's advantage too, he's got that lap traffic there. Well, no, he doesn't. That's Tyler's yielded straight away. So potentially the lap traffic. However, Tyler Sheaf now is going to catch Dylan Shepherd off the back of 3 and 4. The lights are flashing there. Sheaf's going to try and get it away.
Oh!
He's made contact. That could potentially be I don't know what the penalties are like for taking out lapped cars. Tyler Sheaf ain't moving. Oh no, he is moving.
No. Yeah, okay.
No, I thought it might have been a toe there for a second.
How's Jake Jackson sitting in gapped DeBono? That's awesome, but there's a replay there. Sorry, I probably should have been focusing on the replay there, but yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Jake Jackson gapping DeBono in the pits, and that was sort of, as we said a bit earlier, you know, he was sitting back at the back of that 5 and just sort of conserving a little bit. And when he's had some space to put his foot down, he's made that time back up and he's got ahead of DeBono. We saw DeBono was sort of playing the strategy game with the team orders, so for Jake to be ahead of him at this stage in the race is certainly a big advantage. Greg Johnson in the pit lane now as well, down the back of the grid.
How unfortunate for Tyler Sheaf though. Just having a bit of an incident there with Shepherd, but we'll see what race control do about it. So, yeah, on board with Doug. I wonder what Doug's stop's going to be like. It'd be very short.
Well, it depends on how much fuel he actually needs to get home. It's going to be that calculation. At the moment, he's got a 31-second advantage over Jake Jackson. So most of the pit stop transit times, if Todd puts the graphic up there again, I think it's been around about 33 to 35 seconds. So if he can continue to make this pace and get a bit of time. No, those are hold times, not total transit times. I believe it's been about 33 to 35 seconds for total transit time in the pit lane. There we go, that's the one. 34.
Bono's was shorter than Jake's.
Yeah, so Jake Jackson's pretty close, and Gowan's in the pit lane now, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens as he gets to the other end. We're right on board with Jake Jackson while Gowans is transiting the lane.
Well, this is going to be very close, because I remember Doug and DeBono were very close together, so I wonder where Jake comes out in this. Here comes Jake around the last stop. Oh, he's done well there. Doug's done very well there. Awesome stop. Look at the gap he's done. That's awesome. Closing down because Jake is just throwing it over the curbs.
Yeah, look at that transit time, only 29 seconds, so very good time there in the pit lane from Doug Gowans. He saved a lot of time on that pit stop, albeit his actual hold time was a little bit quicker, surprisingly, so how he's pulled that one out of the bag, I'm not quite sure, but certainly going to be some interesting little racing here now. Jake Jackson has Dylan DeBono all over the back of him again.
Oh, that's huge! That was huge! What a dive! On the outside, let's see if there's a cross. No, there's not. DeBono's going to stick behind, but here's DeBono. Oh, he'd be wanting to help Doug out.
Well,
Fritz
putting
just
that
letting him
pressure
go
on
there.
him.
Yes, just Fritz letting him go there, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely with DeBono putting that pressure on Jackson, it's making him drive a bit more defensively. It is going to cost him a bit of time. He needs to sort of just eyes forward, I think, put your foot down and go. Dylan Shepherd is down there in fourth. He's 4 seconds further back. Got Fritz, had Fritz in between them, no longer. So Fritz has yet let both Shepherd and Scotty pass. Scotty now has that interval to Dylan Shepherd at only 2.5 seconds. So in range for that 5-second penalty as Jake Jackson eats a bit of the curb. on the exit there. He's left himself very vulnerable.
Oh!
Mono moves up the inside. Big lock under brakes. Manages to hold on as we continue to ride on board with Scotty now. Only 5 minutes to go in this race.
Oh, you'd hate to be Jake Jackson right now, that's for sure.
Oh, Jake Jackson's like got a bad smell all over his back bumper. It just ain't going away. Dylan DeBono throwing the kitchen sink at this one.
Oh, mate, I think it's the whole kitchen, not the kitchen sink. I think it's all of it. Doesn't need a tap, doesn't need anything. Dishwasher. What else? The curtains, the window,
The chef.
the oven. Mate, it's all of it. But, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Jake Jackson. Oh, he's cracked under pressure. DeBono's got a great launch out of the corner. The thing looks like a rocket ship. DeBono trying to put it upside in the inside. No, Jake's trying to leave him as little room as possible. DeBono, oh, look at that.
Oh,
Jake's
that's
covered.
a great defensive line from Jake. DeBono
Both of them get a bad exit. This is where Jake needs to cover up the inside, and that's what he's done. Oh, he's on the outside though, so if DeBono can hold this on the outside, that's a great move. No, he's not. Jake's done an awesome move there. Is that a slowdown?
Don't believe so. Looks like they're still running at full pace. Just a defensive.
I think
that Audi does not like the exit of the curbs there, eh? DeBono, you can see him jumping all over the track. And what it is doing actually is... That's a good description, actually. Dylan Shepherd now starting to close that gap, but also too Scotty Rankin, that 2.5 seconds I mentioned a couple of laps ago, he's got that down to 1.6 now, so he's almost getting into DeBono territory. Oh no, sorry. The time penalty won't affect him. He'll definitely be looking at 4th place. And there's been contact.
Oh!
Attempted a redress and he's got DeBono back.
Oh, contact both ways.
It's going to be very interesting for race control. He's attempted a redress with Shepherd really nowhere to go. Oh, sorry, Jake Jackson, nowhere to go. And has spun DeBono, so we jump to the DSL Welding Services replay. We look at DeBono there, he's stuck up the inside. He's made contact with Jake Jackson, he's spun him. He's slowed down to allow the redress, but as Jake Jackson regathers his car, he also makes contact with DeBono, puts him off into the grass, and that has allowed Dylan Shepherd and Scotty Rankin to come through. So all of a sudden, Scotty Rankin, with that 5-second penalty for Shepherd, finds himself in 3rd place on the podium with what, like 2 minutes to go?
I was going to say, I re-looked at the replay, and it actually, Jake wasn't on throttle there. So that's just the car flicking back around. So I wonder what race control is going to do about that.
I mean, it'd be a very, very harsh call if they ping Jake Jackson for not holding his brakes during an incident, given that he kind of did have control of the car. Well, admittedly the car was spinning, but he has a right. He has a right to correct the car, and he did have it under control at all times, or as best as you can when it's sliding, obviously. Yeah, but
I think how. Well, DeBono hasn't called it in. I think he's kind of went, oh, I did that, but is it worth calling him in? Like,
take your medicine, I think, in that situation.
Yeah,
you were the initial cause.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say anything about DeBono, and I don't want to say anything about Jake. It's a very, you know, there's a bit of 50-50.
It is a genuine racing incident, I think, that comes about when they are driving that competitively and that close together. But Dylan Shepherd now on the back of Jake Jackson, so he has a chance to move up to 2nd place.
White flag. No, so Scotty's right there. So Scotty's actually in P3. Scotty's in P3 because of that 5-second penalty for Shepherd. So if Scotty stays there, or even brings it even more, Scotty's got the P3.
As it stands right now, Dylan DeBono is exactly 5 seconds behind Dylan Shepherd. So if DeBono can set a good lap here this time, he potentially could get Shepherd as well.
P4 then for DeBono then. That wouldn't be bad.
That time is starting to
Fred's trying to make a move on Greg. Sorry, Brendo. Trying to make a move. Feel like we're just in that in sync, Brendo. We just jump on each other. So Fred's trying to make a move on Greg. Last lap, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We should jump on Doug, and here he is. The winner of tonight. What a great drive. Bit of an endurance around Winton. Come across the last turn. And there you go. There's your race winner. Round 8. Round sponsor of Warren Brown Tools. And then the DSL Welding Services TCR's round 8 winner. Here comes Jake Jackson in P2. Another great result for Jake there too. And Scotty Rankin technically in P3.
Yeah, definitely. So we're just waiting for DeBono to cross the line. It looks like he is outside of 5 seconds. He was 5.4 behind Scotty. So, hang on. We want to look at total race time, don't we? Not actual lap time. The intermediates aren't going to matter too much, really. But it gives us a pretty fair indication. I think DeBono is going to be outside of that by about 0.8.
Oh no. He probably wasn't even thinking about it either. So, I wonder if race control... Yeah, wow. What an ending. How's that for your first time commentating TCRs and you get a result like that?
Oh, I think it's the second time I've done TCRs actually. I feel like I did it a little bit earlier on in the season.
No, I think it's been carry the whole time. I think this might be your first time.
I thought I did one. Maybe not. Maybe I was just pretending. Maybe I was watching the broadcast and felt like I was commentating. I've certainly been keeping up with all the leagues a little bit more over the last few days with the second to last rounds and whatnot. So we have our race results up now. Doug Cowens will come home in first. Jake Jackson second. Dylan Shepherd third across the line, but of course has to have that 5-second post-race penalty added on. Scotty Rankin will be across the line in fourth. DeBono fifth. Nathan Allen sixth. Matty Gerard seventh. Bradley Wall 8th. Greg Johnson 9. Daniel Fritz 10. And Tyler Sheaf rounding out the field in 11th. Off the back of that little incident there with Shepherd, DeBono, one of them, can't remember exactly which one it was. So what a Jackson and Rankin, your podium here tonight.
How's that for round 8? Right, let's snap on Brendo. Let's get Scotty in and get his opinions. Or do we bring in Scotty last? Because we know he's going to talk for a while.
Yeah, he's definitely going to talk for a while. We'll go from top to bottom, So we'll bring in, where are we?
Yeah, it'd be Doug.
Doug, yep.
G'day, Doug. We thought we'd do it a bit backwards because we know Scotty's going to talk for a while. So, mate, P1, how good's that?
Mate. Yeah, really good. Look, I mean, that was really a team effort tonight. Dylan really played the team game perfectly, and it worked out exactly the way that we would hope it would work out.
Mate, you obviously with the team game, we've seen it before in real life, right? Real life racing, and it just looked like when you guys were doing it, it just looked like in sync, mate. And you didn't put a foot wrong. We've been calling you consistent. You're Mr. Consistent in this series. And mate, I think I've hit the nail with a head of a hammer,
nail
mate. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Look, you don't have to be the fastest on track,
No, you don't, mate.
And if you're just consistent and you're consistently fast, the results can come. You're not going to win every race or come second.
100%, mate. 100%.
If you're just consistently accumulating those points, well, then there you go.
Well, Doug, you've always been there, and now for your championship points-wise, this is huge because a win. That's massive points.
Oh, absolutely, and we discussed it throughout the week. In regards to how we can maximise. It's not only the drivers' championship; it's also the teams' championship, and that's one that's very important to me. I'd really love to win that with Dylan. Dylan's been a fantastic teammate, and Matt and Nathan, they done a beautiful job tonight in regards to what they needed to do. So, hands up to all of them. They just done it perfectly.
mate, it's always about the teammates, and I know it personally. It's always, you know, some people are like, oh, what do you think of the teams championship? But we're in it. Scotty and I are in a teams championship right now, and we're up the front of standings. But I only care about the team championship because at the end of the day, mate, it's all about your team.
Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Yeah, that's more important to me, you know, like I said, to win it with Dylan than what it is to win the Drivers' Championship. You know, because it takes two, you know, it's not just you know, it has to be an effort from both of you.
100%, mate. There you go. On screen, just Doug getting through and Dylan DeBono, just absolutely what a great teammate. And Brendo, any questions for the P1, Mr. Consistent?
No, mate, I think you've pretty well wrapped this one up, but we'll just give Dougie a chance to give a shout out to all the sponsors and family that needs to give a shout out to tonight.
Look, yeah, obviously DSL Welding Services, SRW, you know, fantastic race, like I said, by the rest of the Velocity guys. You know, Pedders, Here to Race, Speedhouse YouTube, you know, and you guys, as I always say, you know, thanks for commentating and taking your time to do that, and also the officials. We wouldn't have the racing that we have without you guys, so thanks.
Oh, thank you. I've got a tear in my eye. Thanks, Doug.
Good on you, good. Hey, look, everyone might not like team racing, you know, and how it goes, but yeah, that's the way that team races are. You know, that's what it is.
I 100% agree with you, mate. I got invited to a supercar race on Sunday, and I said to my teammate, mate, I'm following you today. Tell me what to do. I'm just here for a co-drive.
That's right, you know. And if I didn't want to be part of a team, I'd be a privateer.
That's it, mate. That's it. Honestly, I think that's the word of wisdom for tonight, Doug Gowan. But, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Gowan, you're round 8 winner. How good's that, Doug?
It's good.
Another
it's
win
good.
on the board.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, we're coming down to the last round now, so very, very exciting. You know, I'm a 50-year-old dude with a bung shoulder, a sore back, and arthritis.
Oh, don't say that, to Scotty.
So, you know, to be racing against these guys and be up there fighting with them, you know, for me, it's absolutely brilliant. And I urge anyone out there who's watching, you know, and is thinking about doing this or jumping into this type of series, go for it. It's great fun.
Yep. 100%. Well, Jake's a bit of a young one, and so is Scotty. So you're beating the young ones tonight, mate.
Well, you know, that's how you learn lessons, isn't it, from your elders?
Oh, mate, we'll get you out of here before you annoy anyone else.
No, thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, mate, you're a legend. Well done.
Cheers.
Doug Gowan. Well done, mate.
Catch you later, Doug.
Jake Jackson, mate.
Please.
Go for it, Brendo.
So second place tonight at Winton, mate. Talk us through your race.
My race. The start was alright, and then the boys in front of me are a lot quicker, and I really struggled at the start. I'm not too red hot around here or in the TCR, so we just, as soon as the car came up to temp, we just hit our times, and everyone started battling, and we were in the mix and the hunt.
Mate, did you do the chili bin strat today, mate? Just chilled out and sat at the back and saved a bit of fuel as well?
No fuel saving. It was just stay at the back of the pack, because these boys are a lot quicker or more consistent than what I was at the start of the race. And then as soon as I got to the rear of them, we just pretty much copied what they were doing, and then we stayed consistent for the race. Well, there was some other dramas going on, and we came out in front and got P2.
Yeah, mate, you obviously had some great battles out there. You had it with Dylan Shepherd and Scotty Rankin. We saw you made a move on Scotty, and then you backed out of it. Explain that to us. Did you just have to get behind so you didn't hit him?
I could have made the pass stick, but if I made that pass, I think we both would have been at a disadvantage. We would have lost the lead group if we would have started battling. So it's having the smarts and making sure we're there at the end. There's no point losing a couple seconds for nothing at the start of the race.
Yeah, definitely, mate. We talked about that a little bit earlier on in the broadcast as well. You know, the cost of time-wise for making a pass as opposed to just sitting in there and finding a good rhythm. And obviously you ran a bit later on the pit stop than the other two as well. Was that part of the strategy as well tonight?
Yeah, as soon as Scotty went in, yeah, I was like, nah, there's no way we're stopping. We're going to drain this tank to empty. And then I had a couple laps left in the tank, and then we're coming up to some lap cars, and that's what made my decision to jump in the pits.
So, mate, obviously you talked to Scotty a bit and about strategies. Did you kind of take a bit of Scotty's strategy in a way, just do something completely different left field and see what happened?
Yeah, there was no point of copying anyone.
Yep.
Well, I knew the track was going to be clear if these boys pitted. So if I got a clear track and I can stick to my lap times, yeah, I was going to end up in a good position. We could have fought for the lead, but I had a bit of a moment coming out of the pits with cold tyres. But that's for another day.
I'm sure the teammates gave you a bit of a leg for that. But mate, what an awesome result! P1 last round, now P2. Mate, honestly, who would you like to thank with sponsors and everything, mate? Go for it.
Yeah, just a big shout out to the 19 team, MX Wraps, and head over to MX Wraps, use code 19 with number 9 at the end and get a 20% discount with all their merchandise and products. And that's about it, boys. And thank you, SRW, for the league.
Any more questions, Brendo? Throw him at it now.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. Congratulations on a good drive and nice little YouTuber plug there. You're getting good experience with the promo code, mate. Well done.
Yeah, go check them out, mate. They've got some nice gear.
Yeah, mate. I'm definitely getting some of their gear. Anyway, moving on, mate. Yeah, what a great result. And I think you need to get out of here, mate, because we're going to bring in Scotty Rankin and see what he's all about with the race tonight, because he had an interesting one.
Yeah, he's a bit disappointed with himself.
Oh, well, you can stay in here if you want to, mate.
No, I'll jump out.
Too easy. Well done, Jake Jackson. P2, mate. So, Scotty Rankin, mate. What a race. I don't think... I'm going to say you're not too happy about it.
I'm just going to bite my tongue because there's a lot of emotion going at the moment and a lot of red mist, and surprisingly, none of it's directed at Dylan Shepherd. So,
yep.
If it's any consolation to you, mate, the comments section is very much on your side tonight.
I've gone back and had a look at the incident with Dylan Shepherd, and I've had a look at it about 5 times, and I really can't pick. To be perfectly honest, the incident I've had with him, it's a borderline edge case. And I've come off the edge of the track at the exact moment he's gotten to his widest. It's one of those ones where I think it's actually more of a racing incident. And the fact that Race Control have issued a 5-second penalty says that they weren't even sure who was completely at fault, and they felt that there was probably more in that. In terms of that one, I'm actually a little bit more upset with the rejoin after running wide at T10 on the previous lap. That's probably where I'm most annoyed with, but you know, that's racing. To be honest with you, I think 5-second penalty when you consider both incidents is actually correct when you consider both incidents, but at the same time, Race Control can't consider both incidents. They have to consider all of them in isolation. So it's neither here nor there. There's nothing in it, man. It's racing.
I was going to say, we'll move off the subject, mate. And mate, honestly, you had some great battles tonight. You were just in the mix of it. How was that from that kind of standing point of it?
Well, have a look at how much of that first race where there was 5 seconds that covered the top 5 cars. That's awesome. That's exactly what you want to have. You know, multiple different mates up there, 2 different Hyundais, and 2 Audis in there as well. You know, so the top 5 covered by 2 manufacturers, 3 makes and models is really, really awesome. That's what we strive for. Yeah, look, I mean, there's one driver out there who's playing games, and all power to him. I hope that he gets whatever he's after, but it's really like fighting with one arm tied behind your back against him. So, you know, if I touch him, if anything goes wrong, you know, it's going to be really, really badly upon me, and I've got to keep myself. Give me 2 seconds. I got cats fighting.
We'll just wait for Scotty while he's sorting out his cats.
Yeah, I just need my mic just to yell at them. They choose now is the best time to start fighting behind me. Yeah, look, I mean, you know, it was a good race. Other than that, obviously Winton's incredibly hard to pass, and we saw that the first time around. A little bit disappointed that I ran wide and destroyed the front splitter. I think I could have more pace. Again, really happy with the way that I can look after tyres. I've got the tyres on the field. So when we go to Bathurst next week, that's going to be the goal again. It can be a tyre burner, a real tyre intense race, so it's going to be clean, keep it clean. I'm really, really curious to see what happens to the points when the drop around, because, well, Doug will score 2 places worth of points on me here tonight, But at the same time, I think the drop rounds might cover that. I might actually come out ahead, but there is going to be nothing in it, man.
I was gonna say, mate, it's been. I mean, you guys have, all three of you respect each other, right? And to be honest, you guys have just been butting heads in a good way. You guys have just been at it the whole season, and it's just coming down to nothing. You know?
Sure, but it's 2 versus 1, and that's it's difficult because I really I would love to be examining this situation without myself being involved. I really because it's a great case study for how leagues should conduct themselves and how leagues should look at this sort of situation. I mean, the whole reason to join a bigger team, to join a larger team, is to get experience and to race around a whole bunch of guys. I'm not going to say any more because I can really set on my own toes, but yeah, I'm annoyed. So.
I mean, to be fair though, Scotty, let's be honest, you know, it does make it more rewarding when you accomplish that goal too. If you have those 2-on-1 situations, you get ahead and you beat them, it does make it a bit more satisfying as well, no doubt.
When it happens, but if you have a look at the reason why I'm annoyed is the championship is sort of whatever. Like, I'm out here to just race and have fun, man. Like, I'm here to not play games. I'm here to have fun, to get close quarters racing. And like I said, Dylan Shepherd, honestly, I think I'm the one that's actually made the mistake in that sort of incident. That's the way I look at things. I'm very self-critical. I really like to analyze my own performances from multiple different approaches, multiple different angles. It's an important, actually, for us to have this sort of conversation about teams and team tactics and those sorts of things. It's actually a really good growth and health discussion point, and I strongly suggest that any league that is out there that's getting to this sort of a stage, they need to have a look at these sorts of things. Because what do you do in these settings? Do you just let it happen? Formula One did for quite a long time, and then they went, hang on, no, we're actually really unhappy with the way that this is experiencing things for our fans. So they outlawed team orders for a while, and then they brought it back. And it's one of those dynamic conversations where both points of view are right. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's the way that you want to go racing, and this isn't the way that I want to go racing. And it's making me question, do I want to come back? And when it's at that point, I'm enjoying the racing enough when it's not going on, and that's the bonus for me. So,
mate, honestly, for a P3 to come back with it, I think, mate, bit of a drive if you ask me. But mate, well done on P3. Who would you like to thank for all your sponsors, mate? Family, cats, anything, mate. Go for it.
Well, for the cats for not fighting up until that moment, that's always a big plus. So all the guys that I'm lucky enough to be a part of a couple different teams and have a lot of strong guys around me, and for anyone who's sort of been watching and keeping up with my racing at the moment, there's been a lot of wrong place, wrong time that's been going on for me lately. So I'm just in a frustrating hole in terms of my racing. So anyone who's keeping me racing and anyone who's keeping me happy, there's the Aussie Wide Racing guys, Sim Racing World guys, and you guys over at 19 as well. It's just it's sit back, it's relax, it's laughs, It is what it is. Big shout out to all the Sim Racing World sponsors. Can't say enough about DSL Welding Services. I really want to see the Paw Patrol and all of those guys back out on track again next season. DSL Welding, Racecraft Simulations, Toyo Sim, Dragon RC, Warren and Brown Tools, and Melville Equipment Corporation. Can't do it without all of those guys. And a big shout out to Brad Wall, who sets up the series and puts the time and the effort to put this sort of stuff together, and all the rest of the admins at Sim Racing World as well. And all the drivers as well. Like 5 guys covered by 5 seconds to start off the race at Winton. Awesome.
You're still missing one. Still missing one, Radogan.
Shibby was Chef Toddy was included in that. Shibby's included in that. Everyone that makes
No. You're still missing one more.
No, I'm not. I've covered everyone. No, I've covered everyone. Yep.
Not gonna give your wife a shout out tonight.
She doesn't deserve one. She ran away on me. I'm sorry. That does not. No, big shout out to the wife as well. She's been messaging me a lot over the last couple of days, and yeah, a lot of changes are about to happen in my life away from sim racing, and she's been very supportive of that. So,
mate, honestly, I think you take away from this P3 is a P3. You're in the points, mate. It's a podium. Everyone, Scotty Rankin, P3. Well done, mate.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
You too, mate. Right, I think we'll go to a bit of a break, and we'll come right back with the F3s. We'll be right back with you.
We'll see you soon, guys. For the F3s, this time at Phillip Island for the DSL Welding Services Championship. Round 8, the penultimate round. We're just finishing up practice, and Matt Jones is leading the time chart there. Off the back of that one, we're about to start qualifying. We have 15 cars on the grid. We're joined once again by Connor Pixie Nixon. Connor, how are we feeling for the F3s tonight?
Mate, honestly, this series is just getting better every round. This is heating up every time we come to any track with these things. It's absolutely amazing racing, and I don't think if we can get any better tonight, I'll be shocked, because last time we were here, it was unreal. It was sensational. I don't think I've seen better racing than these guys at Phillip Island. So it's going to be great tonight here, Brendo.
Yeah, and I think Phillip Island too, a track that really lets these cars show off their unique abilities. Plenty of downforce on these F3s, these long sweeping corners that Phillip Island is so well known for. Some of those slower, tighter technical corners, and of course the big high top speeds down the straight is going to make for some very exciting racing. All the usual suspects in here yet again. The Kitten boys are out here. As we just put that on pause for a second, we've got the race info up there. 23 degrees here, 5% humidity, 10-kilometer wind, partially cloudy. So again, not overly hot, good track conditions. We're expecting some pretty fast racing, 4.41 kilometers here around Phillip Island.
Yeah, it's an hour-long race as well, so this is a bit of a big one, big endurance. To these little F3s, I tell you what, doing an endurance race in these, Brendo, is not fun. They're so, you got to concentrate so much in these things. You just got to, every bit in your body is telling you to go, no, don't push harder, but you got to push harder with these things to bring more downforce, bring more aero on them. And mate, honestly, for an hour worth of racing of that, yeah, these guys will need basically the guys' brains are going to be like a blender.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked earlier this evening about the TCRs being driven sort of on the edge. These things here are kind of the same, but in a whole different class. You know, it's like any sort of open wheel, high downforce car. You have to drive them right on the edge. You've got to drive them at maximum speed. Otherwise, you really aren't getting the full. You really are not getting the full potential out of the car. So at the moment, as qualifying gets underway, most of these guys just starting their first or second flyers. Andrew Lydon's topping the timing charts early with a 27.9. Daniel Byrne, though, so the Kitten cars very well, doing very well early on, 28.3.
Yeah, the
purple sector for Matt Jones there coming through, currently sitting in third.
Times are absolutely rapid around here, Brendo. They are just absolutely flying around here. Like, they've just put a 1:22.8 down Matty Jones. What a blistering lap time. That's about almost 8 seconds quicker than a V8 Supercar. It's just a blistering little car with all that downforce, I tell you what.
Adrian Loretti with a couple of purples in his sector as well, so he's gone 1/10 faster again, 22.7. So the Kitten boys really putting the mark on qualifying early on.
Andrew Loretti, Matty Jones said if he can keep up the times that he's been doing, he's going to be quicker than Matty Jones. And I'll tell you what, for 2/10 quicker than Matty Jones right now, I reckon Loretti might put something to Matty Jones next season, because he's just getting quicker and quicker. Thomas is actually in P6. He's got a purple sector, so that's a really good time.
Matty Jones takes purple in sector 2 at the moment as well with his next lap, green in sector 1. So on another very good lap here is Matt Jones. Thomas Sanderson, orange through sector 2.
Matthew Pignata's green all on the back. So I wonder if he's going to move up a spot as well. Matty Jones, this is going to be a really good one. Draft is key around here. So let's just see what Pignata
purple
does.
again for Matty Jones. David Galo steals the purple in the last sector, so Matty Jones goes back up. Wow, lots of shuffling going on with that little draft pack crossing the control line, so Matty Jones takes pole now. Provisional pole, sorry. Way bit loose into one. Thomas Sanderson sends it off into the sand. Big off track there. So Daniel Byrne comes up into third. Adrian Loretti slips down to fourth. Does improve his time as well though. Scotty Bargin down in fifth. Steve Tonkin sixth. David Gallo had a great lap time, but only good enough for seventh as it stands right now.
Yeah, it's, Thomas Sanderson, that's a great lap time he's done in P2. 2/10 off Matty Jones, Adam Simpson on screen. But that's such a good lap. Back to Adrian Loretti. He's sitting in P4, so he's going to get a massive draft back up the hill. Oh, I can hear someone going wide. Someone off the track there. No. Is he going to get held up here by John King here? Don't think he is. See what happens with his lap time though. David Gallo on a green sector. So Scotty Bargin, Matthew Pignata is Matty Jones. Matty Jones just went a tenth slower than his fastest lap. Adam Simpson moving around.
Steve Tonkin just missing out on improving his time. Had 2 green sectors. Lost a lot of time in the last sector. Just 1/10 slower than his previous best lap time.
Look at the track map. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, good little draft train there starting to form though in a couple of spots, and that seems to be the key. If you can get a good draft coming down the long straights, sort of tuck it in through the sweepers, gives yourself a really good chance to set some lap times. Obviously there's some pretty key braking zones here on this track. Coming into Miller Corner, that's turn 4. Down the top of Lukey Heights into the hairpin at 10, and then obviously getting the best possible exit through 12 for that big long run down the Gardner Straight, getting through Doohan and Southern Loop. Ideally keeping on the track. Someone goes off in the background there as we get lock-ups into the hairpin. David Gallo off the back of the hairpin it is.
Scotty Bargin almost going in the back of that Alfa Venturi there in the Area 51 livery, not the normal Scotty Bargin livery. So interesting one there. Scotty Bargin on screen.
Yeah, I certainly think the braking into the hairpin is going to be a big point of contention throughout the race. The very quick elevation change from Lukey Heights down to the hairpin as they go too wide through Doohan Corner. Bit of a paddle into the Southern Loop. It looked like a bit of contact there as well, potentially.
Yeah, that was with Adam Simpson and Matty Jones just in front of us. Adam Simpson, sorry, just saying sorry about that.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of contact there, I think, between the two, because that'll preserve, what's the word? I'm just going to use the word dirty their lap, but that's not really what they call it here, is it? Declassify their lap.
Yeah, definitely will. It's there's a bit of contact, ladies and gentlemen. The qualifying lap does not count at all, so you've really got to be careful. No off track, so you can't get 2 wheels in the dirt. Can't contact anyone, and you've just got to be super on the edge and know the boundaries. Loretti on screen here, going up to the top of the hill. You've got to keep all your foot basically pinned across the hill. Every nerve is basically screaming at you, basically going, no, don't do it, but your foot just goes, nah, keep it flat. Look at the correction on the exit. Adrian Loretti just trying to muscle his way through. He's going to get a massive slip by his teammate here, David Gallo. So let's see what happens here with his lap time.
See if we can even stay on board for the next lap and get the cockpit view of the drivers here for a lap of Phillip Island. So coming down now along the Gardner Straight, slight right into Doohan Corner. Really committed, full throttle all the way down. Brake as late as you possibly dare. Try and hit the apex as late as possible through the Southern Loop, holding on to the grip, trusting the car's going to hold on and bite. A little bit of curb on the exit there for the run down into Stoner Corner. Up through the gears, up into 6th, not quite reaching top speed, and then bashing down into 2nd. That tight right hand Miller Corner. A little bit of exit there, bit of a correction on exit. Lines it up for another late apex through Siberia, and then it's up the hill through the S's into Lukey Heights. Hit the left curb, touch the right curb.
It's going really well there.
Yeah, done a pretty clean run. Picked the line for the left-hander, blind left-hander up over the hill and then into the braking zone, down into the hairpin. Bit of a lock-up from the car in front. A bit of overcorrection there as he fights the rear end, trying to get the power down. Not the greatest exit from the hairpin on the run down the straight through 12. But what he has done is caught the toe there from his teammate's mistake in front of him also. And that is a lap in the F3s on board with Adrian Loretti.
Yeah, what a great lap there. And obviously, Brendo talking us through it. How much experience do you have in these things, Brendo? Well, we've got to...
Yeah, I mean, as we all know, I'm not the most experienced sim racer in the world, but I do quite enjoy the F3s. There's certainly a few tracks here where, like this one, where you can run them sort of, you know, with the camber of the road and get good results. So yeah, the F3s certainly around tracks like this I do quite enjoy. It's when I take them to sort of the tighter street circuits I tend to struggle. But yeah, really good car to learn. Obviously, sort of in my career, I went up and sort of jumped into Skippy and then progressed on to the Formula 3. It's a big step up, but certainly a very fun car to drive.
It definitely is. I remember racing these things not too long ago with the Racecraft Simulations team. So yeah, still a bit fresh to them, but obviously known as a supercar driver basically. So and an IndyCar driver, but you know, I got a few laps under my belt with these things, and I tell you what, they're great fun. Adrian Loretti coming in the pits now. He's had a lot of camera time. Let's go to someone else. There you go, Scotty Barton. Adam Simpson on screen, the fishy car. He's talking about Whiting. I said, mate, you need to get someone else in the fishy car in here. And I think he's planning to try and get someone else in. So if anyone's a free agent, go knocking on Michael Whiting's door. There you go, Whiting. There's a plug, mate.
Yeah, very interesting too. No crisscross boys in the F3s this season. In the past, you've had the likes of Adam Hughes and Jake Edwards do quite well in the F3s this year, opting to focus more on the GT3s and Porsche series.
Yeah, they're focused on their bigger cars, and you know, sometimes you just need to focus on that. I know my teammates, that's what they've done this season, is really focus on one car and stuck to it. Personally, I've went to the IndyCar, and you just need to focus on it and just know the ins and outs of it. You know when you get oversteer, understeer, and I'll tell you what, all these guys that are racing it now, especially all the kitten guys over there, they would definitely know how to control these cars, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the kittens sort of have put their SRW priority focus into the F3s this season. Obviously run quite well in the GT3 series as well on the Friday night, but you do kind of get the feeling that it is a bit more of a secondary series for them. Not to say that they're not putting out pretty good results in the F3 series as well, but yeah, definitely the competitiveness comes out when they get behind the wheel of the F3.
Definitely. You've always got that competitive side. If someone goes off there, that's Scotty Bargin, I'm pretty sure. Timothy Schellenberg. Just having a bit of a whoopsie going into the pits. Here's another JWM car on screen. So Brad Hudson on screen. He's he's just went off the track there. Oh, he was doing alright there too. Curse of the commentator. So talking about that before, Brendo.
Yeah, definitely. The commentator's curse has been in full effect the last couple of weeks. So
oh man. It's terrible.
We're going to win and lose the championship based on who we broadcast, I think. I'm calling it now.
Oh, it'd be funny, wouldn't it? I was going to say, yeah, mate. I haven't got commentated cursed yet. Definitely not on Sunday, so yeah, don't do it to me, please.
I was trying very hard on Sunday, but you were racing far too consistently, mate.
Oh, mate. I was racing with Mr. Consistent and was being consistent.
Yeah, some of that must have rubbed off on you as well. But back up the top, Matty Jones, speaking of consistent, just hit to new fastest lap time, 1:22.33. Matt Sanderson second place at the moment with the 22.45. What did I just say? Oh, whoops, Thomas Sanderson, sorry.
So Daniel Byrne on screen, the kitten car. He's on a very good lap here, so we'll stay on board with him. Sitting in P3 right now, being Adrian Loretti, his teammate. So you always want that little team game, you know, beat the other one. Adam Simpson just going around on the track as well. So let's see what time he does. This is jumped up.
That is a checkered flag as well.
Looks like no one's really putting some greens in it. It's just kind of orange. So
yeah, so I've seen checkered flag showing up on my screen. Yeah, so it seems as the session went on, the pace sort of seemed to drop away a little bit.
Temperature maybe went up.
So just waiting for the last of the cars to make their way back to the pit lane, and we'll get a confirmed grid order for you.
We're just waiting for Loretti to get off track, and Daniel Byrne just on track now. He's just exited, so we'll get our results up now.
So we can't load the grids there until all the cars are off the track. Obviously we see there Darren sitting there on the exit of Miller Corner. However, we can quickly run through the grid. So Matty Jones on pole position with a 122.33. Thomas Sanderson second, Daniel Byrne third, Adrian Loretti fourth, Scotty Bargin fifth, Matthew Panada in sixth, Adam Simpson seventh, David Galo eighth, Jeff Thomas 9, Andrew Lydon 10, Steve Tonkin 11, Darren Fahey 12, Brad Hudson 13, John King 14, and Timothy down there rounding out the field in 15th, Adam Hughes and Greg Barber, our race control team tonight.
2 teammates too for race control. Good to see. So,
yeah, well, we mentioned the Crisscross boys not racing. Said they're jumping in the RC booth,
helping out the team as you normally do. So, well done to them. We get the great race
commentary as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, typical.
Just Crisscross running the show tonight.
I was going to say something about commentary and race control, but I don't want to go there because I know I'll get my butt pinned for that. But let's just wait for the lights and we'll call it off. And mate, what a track to be at, Phillip Island.
Yeah, great track to have an hour-long race at. Going to be very physically demanding, especially the longer they go.
Yeah, I need to come back to this joint and have a good old crack. I was going to say, you do a lot of sprint cars, don't you, Brendo?
Yeah, mainly dirt ovals. I'm not very good at turning right, it seems.
Might need to give you a few tips, mate. A bit of a session.
Yeah, definitely for sure, mate.
As we just wait for everyone to grid up. Darren Fahey's probably just waiting for her. We're doing it again. But no carry tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as well. Forgot to mention, so we don't get any inside jokes about the kittens this week. But I'll tell you what, Brendo's in the booth and he's doing more than enough. So lights are up for the DSL Welding Services F3 round sponsor Warren Brown Tools, and they're off. Matty Jones has got a great launch off the start. Daniel's just got a great start. Oh, so Darren, but Daniel's just got an awesome start. He's fighting for P2. into the first corner. He's backed out of it just to be safe. Loretti on the outside. Looks like Scotty Barton's trying to make a move up the inside. Loretti almost crashes into his teammate. That was going to be huge. Scotty Barton on the outside. Adam's
Adrian's around. There's been contact further in the back, so Adrian got caught up. He got spun around. Adam Simpson ended up going out wide, and I'm not quite sure who the third car was. John
JWM car.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Bradley Hudson, also involved in that one as well. So
Matty Jones
pushing stuff through one.
Matty Jones and Thomas are having a great battle up the front, really knuckling it out in lap 1. I wonder if they're going to have an incident. This is hardcore. Lap 1, we haven't even gone to lap 2 yet. Daniel's right there as well. The Alpha Venturi really wants to have a go at this. Hey, if you get an opportunity, you might as well take it in the double 8. Alpha Venturi Thomas, he's having a great result tonight in P2.
And this is where the F3s really come into their own, because you can afford to run those outside lines. You've got the downforce, you've got the mechanical grip. You can go off the racing line and still be competitive. We saw it out there as Thomas tried to make a move around the top of Lukey Heights. He gets the draft down the main straight, and he's made the pass from the slipstream coming down into turn 1.
Like, what a great pass there. That was awesome. As he just gets him on the inside and then the outside. Now he's got to run. So Matty Jones didn't get the best exit off that corner there. So we'll see if Tom can actually pull us away a little bit. So what a great little launch there. And then to get Matty Jones on the second lap, I reckon that's a bit of a tick in the book to go, hey, I passed Matty Jones on the second lap.
Yeah, well, Matty Jones ain't giving it up easily already. He's right on the back of Thomas again. Just biding his time at the moment. He's not looking to do anything too silly. He's going to find where Thomas is weak, where he can stick his nose up the inside and get the move done. Potentially we're going to see an alternate line through Lukey Heights again, try and set up a crisscross into the hairpin. No, Matt's taking a pretty traditional sort of line through there.
You don't want to show Matty Jones any weaknesses at all, and that's one of them, a lock-up going down the hill. So Matty Jones knows if he sticks his nose up, that's a lot of pressure. So this is a beautiful run from Matty Jones. That's another weakness about Thomas. So he's probably just picking it off in his brain. Meanwhile, Matty Jones is just going to go on the outside.
Yeah, I question if he's ducked out of the slipstream a little bit too early there. He's going to give Thomas a good run down the inside, but looks as though Matty Jones is going to make this stick. He will have the inside coming into the southern loop, so he gets the pass back just one lap later. Now let's see if Thomas can tuck in behind.
Daniel Burns right there too. He's just right there. So is Scotty Barton just right there. They're all there. They're all fighting. So Thomas might make a dive around the hairpin. No, Matty Jones has a lock-up though, so Thomas is going to gain him back through here. Going up to the fast left, this is where you want to get the good run. So Matty Jones going out really wide and then going for the late apex. So he can get an awesome run. Get rid of that toe. That's what you want to do. You want to get it about a 1.5. So you want to pull it out as quickly as you can. And that's what Matty Jones is doing. 3 minutes into the race right now. Hour-long race.
Yeah, and it seems as though all the pressure's on the leader right now because the field is staying pretty compressed. The top 5 cars all within a couple of seconds of each other, and it's those little lockups, those little mistakes that are making all the difference right now. As Thomas Sanderson all over the back of Matty Jones. It's just through like a half a second at the moment down the slipstream, but that is close enough to catch the toe.
Yeah, you just want to be there, and that's what Thomas needs to do. He just needs to be there. He shouldn't be pushing straight up. I would personally just want to stay in that toe. Make Matty Jones anxious. Make him put a dive up, but just do some stuff that he doesn't expect. Matty Jones is a very experienced F3 driver.
Yeah, definitely, and you've kind of got to have a little bit of eyes forward mentality at the moment too, because if you start looking too defensively, Daniel Burns, Scotty Barton, Jeff Thomas, they're all right there behind you as well. So if you start driving a bit too defensively, it's Daniel sticks his right rear tyre in the dirt there, does very well to keep it back on track for the braking zone. If you get too defensive, you're going to start losing time. You've got to be eyes forward all the time in these cars.
Yeah, definitely. So coming up to probably the fastest corner at Phillip Island. This is an awesome piece of tarmac through here. Keep it flat across the top of the hill. really commit. Get the downforce to work, get the mechanical grip to work down the hill, use them brakes, really mash on them. As we see Matty Jones has on a lock-up, just maximising the brake pedal, using as much brake pressure as he can down to the straight. That gap's just pulling out slightly. Thomas needs to be in this slipstream. Back onto the straight.
Yeah, keeping that split pretty consistent there around sort of 4 or 5 tenths, but Thomas has definitely got a run. He's set the fastest lap of the race that last lap too with a 22.4. Right up on the inside now, looking to set up a move into the southern loop again. It's where the passes have been made the previous couple of laps. He's going to tuck in, he's not going to get up the inside. Potentially setting something up through Doohan.
This is where you want to make Matty Jones scared. Put a front wheel up there. You know, like just do something. Just do something, and that's what he's going to do. Thomas up the inside, made a move. What a great move up the inside. Didn't get Jones to think about that one. Matty Jones giving him heaps of room. But this is what the whole field has wanted to do with Matty Jones. Give him a good race. Matty Jones has wanted a great race, and he's got one.
Yeah, side by side through Siberia. They're right up the hill now through the S's as well. They're going to stay side by side. Thomas will have the advantage on the line at the moment, but Matty's sticking with him. He'll have the inside line into the braking zone, but the outside line for the hairpin. Thomas, the wise thing there, decides to back out and let Matt have the corner. Doesn't want to cause an incident, but again we see Matty Jones locking up that inside front right tyre into the braking zone of the hairpin. That's a couple of laps in a row now we've seen him just struggle to pull it up there, and it's allowed Thomas plenty of opportunity to put the power down and get really close down the straight, right on the toe again. And already the lap just seems to fly by so fast in these cars. Big move!
2 wheels at the dirt as Thomas just makes a move up the inside. This is what Matty Jones has won. Now Daniel Byrne's there. Daniel Byrne can probably make a move on Matty now. Oh, this is awesome. Red versus blue. This is almost like Holden versus Ford. Down to the hairpin. See what Matty Jones can do. Now he's on the attack. On the outside, Thomas's is. Oh, lock up. He's locked up. Now he's going to have to go to the next corner, knowing that he's had that front lock. Now there's going to be a bit of a flat spot on the tyre.
Yeah, Matty Jones opens up a bit of a gap there through Siberia. Thomas still just regathering the car as a result of that lockup. But as you look down the timing screen, there's battles everywhere. Jeff Thomas all over the back of Bargin for 4th. You got John King battling Andrew Lydon for 9th. You've got a 3-way battle there for 10th, in fact, actually.
Mate, this has been absolutely amazing. The top 5 have just been going out. There's a lock-up from Andrew Lydon just coming down the hill.
And a drive-through penalty for 445, but I'm not quite sure what the cause was. I just caught it on the back of the radio. Contact lap 1, turn 2. There we go. So that would be for the, that'll be the race start incident there. So Matthew Pinata serving his drive-through penalty straight away.
That's very smart.
Still happening, still happening up the front. Thomas Sanderson has a bit of a gap to Matty Jones, but Daniel Byrne now starting to close in that gap on Thomas Sanderson, looking for a move. Potentially sticks his nose in at Miller. No, thinks better of it. Again, another lockup from Matty Jones. The pressure's certainly on there in that top 3. Nobody wanting to make a mistake as Adrian Loretti, I see further back down the field, makes a position as well.
Purple as well. Andrew Loretti just gets a purple lap, so he's done the fastest lap of the race as his teammates having a good old crack. I think that's with John King. Indeed it is. Going up to the fastest bit of the track. Oh, he's really keeping the car there. This is where the grip is. Loretti could use it on the outside. No, he hasn't. He could have committed around the outside. Really pressured John King there. Down the hill. John's just trying to get as much grip into that tyre when he's trail braking off it. Bit of a wiggle on exit. John King's got the run on Andrew Lydon now on the teammate of Loretti. Can Loretti do anything? No, he's had a bit of a wiggle. John King. Can Loretti do anything to help his teammate? Yes, he can. He's ducked out. That's too early. John King's going to make a move. 3 wide down the straight. This is awesome racing. John King in the middle. Lydon, oh, Lydon backs out, but Loretti keeps in it. He's just pressured John King to back out of it. Turn 1, Loretti gets it done.
Lydon doing very well there not to end up in the grass. He hesitated there for a second. It could have cost him dearly. Did very well to keep that car on the road. Meanwhile, Scotty Bargen there making the overtake on Jeff Thomas, it seems.
Jeff Thomas around the outside, got the run.
Oh, awesome, other way around, whoops.
Jeff Thomas, what a great run out of the corner with the JWM Motorsports car. With Scotty Bargen there, just in the background there. Area 51 Sim Racing. So, I don't know if Scotty's changed team or whatever's happened there, but we'll have a chat to Scotty if he's on podium about that. Now back to the front.
Yeah, plenty of action throughout the field. That battle for the top still as close as ever. There's also plenty of action from the fight for 8th position. Andrew Lydon dives into the pits early. Quite a few cars actually in the pits. David Gallo in there as well. Darren Fahey, Steve Tonkin, all diving into the pit lane early. Of course, the F3s don't have the largest fuel tank in the world.
They've got the same fuel tank as I do. So let's see their pit stops. Matthew Pignata just absolutely sends it in the pit lane. That was awesome. A huge lockup coming into it.
Very interesting to see there if he gets the penalty for speeding in the pits. We could see a long pit stop there from Matthew Pignata.
He gets that. That won't be good at all. He's had to do that drive-through, but that's good. He served it already. No penalty at all. So you got it stopped. Well done, Pignata. But the issue with Pignata now he's got these front tyres have got huge flat spots on it. It's going to affect him in the long term. See what happens there. We're going to have to go back up in front because Matty Jones and Thomas are still going at it. So let's see if Matty goes in the pits now. Yes, indeed, he's in. Thomas is in. Top 3 are in. Let's see what the pit stops are like. Thomas really can gain through this pit stop. Nice and late.
Jeff Thomas and also as well as Scott Bargens of the top 5 now in the pit lane.
Oh, this will be interesting. Hopefully
Adrian Loretti and John Kingan, so the top 7 in the pit lane. The whole field now making their first pit stop.
Loretti could make a lot of time up here. He needs to get it smack bang. Matty Jones and Thomas has just revved the engine out. Thomas has gapped him. They're racing out of the pit lane. How good is this, Brendo?
Mate, that's intense. That was so close. We saw it in the TCRs as well, driving out of the pit lane side by side. It goes to show how close the racing is here in SRW. And Thomas there choosing to yield, let that position go. Of course, the cars are ghosted in pit lane. You don't want to be the one stuck inside the opposition when the cars come back to solid again. And suddenly you find yourself with a bit of damage at the end of the pit lane. The sensible decision there from Thomas, tucking behind. He's been putting the pressure on Matty Jones, particularly at Siberia and down into the hairpin.
Daniel Byrne.
See what they can do. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say Daniel Byrne knows Thomas has got a lot of pace, so Daniel didn't actually make for the move. So Daniel's just getting pulled along, but they cannot let Matty Jones run away. That's where he can just run away with it, and that will be it. You won't see him again because of that slipstream, unless Daniel Byrne and Thomas can slipstream their way back, which is a bit of an IndyCar special, but we'll see what happens. Onto the main straight now. Getting onto the back, the main straight now.
Yeah, it looks as though Daniel Byrne's definitely got the pace to be up there in front, but whether he's just choosing not to make the pass or whether he's struggling to make the pass, I'm not quite sure. Although this time he's got a good run and he does make the pass down the straight.
Great move from Daniel Byrne, so it's definitely not on for this. It's Daniel Byrne wants to be up there. It's the only kitten in the top 3, but it's all different teams. You got Send It Sim Sports, Kittens, and Alpha Inturi racing team. So Matty Jones, Daniel Byrne, and Thomas in this one.
Yeah, Daniel Byrne now with a chance to hunt down Matty Jones, see what he can do. As we have a huge off in the back. That's Timothy. He's sliding down. He's lost 3 or 4 positions in that one there. Getting it all wrong on the exit of the Southern Loop.
just gaining so many spots now. He's going to hunt down his own teammate, David Gallo. Loretti is flying.
Yeah, Loretti definitely one to watch. He's coming through the field. He's a good, the last lap wasn't so flash, but definitely been the quickest guy on the track, or the most consistently quick guy on the track. He's down one from his starting position, obviously being caught up in that lap 1, turn 2 incident, and on a big recovery drive now. So he's got his teammate David Gallo in front of him, and they've got quite a bit of time to chase down that top 3. As Matty Jones now starting to gap Daniel Byrne just a little bit, just pushed that gap out to just over a second. Thomas Sanderson sticking with Daniel Byrne though.
I think Sanderson's really used up his tyre, so this is really going to affect him. It looks like he's just slowly dropping off a little bit. I wonder if he's used too much tyre. Running on board with Thomas here now.
Definitely a possibility. We've seen some pretty hard braking, plenty of lockups. It is all going to hurt that tyre wear. Obviously they'll be taking tyres every second or third stop, I would think.
Yeah, definitely. It's I was talking about it having lockups affecting the cars, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I mean. He's used up a lot of tyre wear in the last 16 minutes, sorry. So this will affect him if he can't get a tyre swap done. Matty Jones having a lockup coming down the hill. Matty Jones is very hard on the tyres as well. So all 3 of them are pushing hard. So now on the main straight, Matty Jones is gapping a little bit, but Thomas is very eager to get past Daniel here. Does he make the move? Up the inside, to the outside. Great move. Absolute amazing move. Daniel Burns is backing out of it a little bit, just so Thomas can go through, but Daniel knows in the back of his head, he's going to use up those tyres. So maybe Thomas was just cooling down the tyres.
Yeah, definitely pace to be had if you can get a good run at a 12 and catch that draft down the straight. Seems to be a very easy move if you can catch the slipstream, time the overtake correctly. But, these guys, it's all good and well them swapping positions, but Matt Jones now just finding himself pushing out that gap to almost 2 seconds. These guys need to sort of decide which one of them is going to catch up and try and have a crack, because they don't want to let this time, open up too much.
No, for the commentary side of it and the racing side. So let's see what Thomas can do about it. Meanwhile, Stephen Tonkin and his teammate having a little battle here with Timothy Schoenberg. Sorry, these two have been working all season together. They've I've seen them before, just sitting together and working together, just slowly catching the field back up. So they're doing really well in 9th and 8th.
Yeah, good strategy to have if you can hook up with someone else and sort of run through, work together. Timothy, despite that little spin costing him a few positions, is still the hard charger. He's up 7 from his qualifying position, so a really good start to the race for Timothy so far. And Steve Tonkin also up a couple of positions, so those two there making their way through the field.
Talking about team.
Oh, you're gone.
Talking about teamwork from P7 to P3, it's all kittens, so that's huge teamwork there. I don't know if that's just numbers or teamwork or strategy or just skill.
I genuinely think it's a bit of both there. That's exactly where I was going to go as well. Those kitten boys getting together, and we've seen them in the GT3 series of late, hooking a couple of cars up together. Obviously you got David Galo up in the Pro class and the GT3s, and the rest of them running in the top end of AM. They get their cars together, they really help each other out, and they run pretty consistently. And I think that's what we're going to see here, as Daniel Byrne is trying aggressively now to get past Thomas Sanderson again. But David Galo, Adrian Loretti, the splits are pretty open right now, but if they can just find a bit of position on track, get together, get that draft back. I think you mentioned a bit earlier, Todd, the IndyCar trick of, slowing down deliberately to get that draft to gain the advantage, I think is going to be on the cards.
Yeah, mate, that's what I mentioned before. It definitely works. So I wonder if any of them have done any of the IndyCar to kind of put that strategy in play. I wonder if they can do it, but Matty Jones just pulling out that gap even more. Just to show how much right foot Matty Jones has. Just absolutely pulling it out. Huge gap. 20 minutes in so far. The DSL Welding Services F3 round sponsor Warren Brown Tools. Thank you, those guys. We get this great action.
Yeah, well, I mean, the action's still pretty hot on the field right now. There's a couple of little battles here and there, but for the most part, it is just kind of settling into the race a little bit, it seems. Action happening between Thomas and Daniel here for second and third. Andrew Lydon is now on the back of Fahey, trying to get that move done. And then there's a couple of little battle packs going on at the back. Jeff Thomas trying to get ahead of Scotty Bargin, who's found himself down the order a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder what's happened to Scotty Bargin, if we can get a replay of Scotty, maybe even if we can go through a couple of replays, because we didn't actually go to that turn 2 accident. So if we can, Daniel Burns does a mover on the outside of Thomas, successfully got it done.
Yeah. Yeah, turn 2, yeah, Brad Hudson was involved. So this is back on lap 1. And yeah, all the cars just checking up there. And as you see, we ended up with 3 cars, one down the middle, one each way off into the grass. That was Adrian Loretti on the left. So Scotty Bargin not on that corner, but did find himself slipping down the order a little bit.
Might have been through before the pit stops.
Yeah, possibly. Had a few little off tracks here and there, nothing too major. No serious incidents. So as we go to another replay, Matthew Pinada. I think this was the running wide, yeah, lock up and running wide. And one of the other cars, Darren Fahey, went with him. So Darren obviously following the braking line there of Matthew and the braking spot. And Steve Tonkins had a bit of a moment as well.
Running on board with Steve here now. Yeah, front right lock and bang. That's David. That's not David Gallo. Who would that be?
Adam? Oh yeah, it will be. Yeah. Andrew Lydon back there.
So pit stops are happening now again. So it looks like very short pit stops.
Yeah, about 4.5 seconds seems to be, or say 4.5 to 5 seconds seems to be the average there. A little bit of a longer stop there for John King. He took an 11-second stop, so that was obviously as a result of that little bit of damage we saw him pick up a bit earlier on. Daniel Byrne getting back ahead of Thomas again. So those two still switching positions up the top for second and third, sorry.
So this might be the pit stop for these two now, Thomas and Daniel Byrne. So now riding on board with Jeff Thomas and Scotty Bargin. Scotty Bargin with the new livery on area 51, and as Jeff Thomas just puts it up, huge dive up the inside, locked fours, and still made it stick. What a great move from Jeff Thomas.
Yeah, both of them locking up a little bit there. They managed to get through cleanly. Great defensive drive, but also a pretty good move there as well. Trying to get it done, sort of making something out of nothing, rather. He's stuck with him though, Jeff Thomas. He's got good draft coming up the hill into Lukey Heights.
So let's see what he can do from Lukey Heights. Coming down the hill now. Does he go for the big dive? No, there was a bit of smoke though, so the two of them are smoking up there. Front right locked coming down the hill, so they might need to adjust their brake bias a bit further back. Got him barging going in the pits now. Yep. Jeff Thomas staying out now.
Position for free. It almost seems as though these cars aren't really keen on passing in the hairpin. It's all about getting a good run through, setting up the most possible drive down the straight through 11 and 12.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. And meanwhile, Matty Jones leading the field, and these two still going at it, Daniel Burns and Thomas. So down the hill, bit of a front right lock again. So they're really warring out these front right tyre. See if they're going in. So Daniel Burns in, Matty Jones are in.
Yeah, Thomas in as well. So we'd expect Adrian and John to possibly follow suit as well. And we've had a tow requested by David Galo, so I'm not quite sure where he is on track. Oh, yep, there we go. That's definitely a damaged car.
Yeah, definitely.
Toddy to pull up what happened there.
Well, this is great pit stops for the top three then. Daniel Burns got Thomas as well.
So that's coming Miller corner. So yeah, he's got loose on picking up the throttle on the exit of Miller on the run up to Liberia, and yeah, deciding he's just going to pull over and park that. Excessive damage on that kitten car. So the safety car has been called by the sponsored by the promo department. Yeah, look at that. It's a bit of a sorry sight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a sorry kitten, that one. That's for sure. David Gallo was doing really well there, though. So that's unfortunate that he's had that incident and he was in the top 5.
Good thing about the kittens, of course. 1 life down, 8 more remaining.
Yeah, mate. Yep. But unfortunate for his night, though. Promo department's out.
Yeah, Hughesy in the promo department, BMW this week.
Surprised it's not a Porsche.
Yeah, I'm surprised he owns the BMW, to be fair.
Yeah, not wrong.
Actually, no, I think to be fair, Chris Cross used to race the BMW in the 24-hour when it first hit, so he probably still has it from that, going back a couple of years.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely.
Oh. And a bit of Adam Hughes' famous McDonald's Wi-Fi network there, jumping around the track with his connection. So it looks as though Thomas Sanderson coming back into the pit lane again for a 3rd time. So interesting there to see. Maybe he's going to fill the tank this time instead of taking a short, or perhaps he's even going to look at tyres. Yep, he's put it up on the jack, so he's going to choose to take some tyres. Just 2 tyres by the looks of things, because that pit stop was too quick to do all 4.
Hey, what? You'd want tyres now.
Yeah.
I'd risk it and just go into the pits and get tyres now.
Yeah, I think taking right-hand sides, of course, if you take tyres from the same side, it's a quicker pit stop than taking, just the fronts. So I would suggest, or I would guess, sorry, that Timothy has taken 2 right-hand side tyres. As that front right seems to be getting quite a bit of work, especially locking up quite often down into the hairpin. So we're just trying to get the field to catch the safety car, a bit of redressing going on. Couple of lap down drivers that will get that lap back. As we see Hughesy there crawl down the main straight, trying to catch the field as quick as possible.
Yeah, so Hughesy just in the safety car from promo department. Thanks to those guys. We got a beautiful safety car. Always love this livery. Looks great on the Beamer. The Beamer's a beautiful looking car. One of my teammates' favourite cars. Not my favourite, but definitely one of the good looking ones though. But yeah, thanks to the promo department for the livery, and looks great. So thanks to those guys. We get a safety car, and definitely great to have them on board.
Yeah, probably my preferred GT3 car as well, to be fair. I quite like the Ferrari, but it never seems to be the fastest, so the BMW tends to generally be the good all-rounder, so it's quite forgiving for a amateur driver like myself, but still has plenty of pace to be competitive when the quicker guys get in the car.
Yeah, well, my teammate Mark Stewart, yeah, this is his favourite car. He, it's not a bad car. It's very stable, very, very stable. But yeah, it's
stable is exactly what I look for in a car.
See, I'm like fleet officer. I like the hang 10 basically. But yeah, great to have the promo department on and having the safety car, nice and beautiful. So
Yeah, definitely. So it seems as though most of the field has caught the safety car. We've just got Steve Tonkin in the pit lane as well for another stop. And then we've just got, who would that be? That would be Fabigalo and Adam Simpson down the back trying to catch up, I believe.
Okay, so Thomas Sanderson, he's made a very smart call. He's went to go and get tyres.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see when they come up to temperature again, obviously. He's definitely going to have an advantage over the guys around him taking those 2 tyres.
But at the same time, Daniel's in a very good spot, just sitting behind Matty Jones, so Daniel can make a move because he's got about 2 other teammates sitting right behind him, supporting him to try and hang back Timothy Schellenberg and Thomas Sanderson. So this should be very good.
Yeah, definitely 3 kitten cars there lined up, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. I think Daniel's got to go early if he's going to. You don't want to let Matty get out and have that lead like we've seen him have in the past. And obviously we've talked a little bit about team racing tonight. We saw it in the TCRs as well. The kittens have a little bit of an advantage here now if they can get together and push their way through up into the front. You'd expect if Daniel went, Adrian would follow. Brad Hudson moves into the pit lane. Scotty Bargin goes into the pit lane as well. So potentially tyres for those 2 as well. We'll keep an eye on their pit stop times. Anything over 5 seconds would probably suggest they are taking tyres.
Very, very smart from Thomas there. Sorry, Thomas. I just had a brain fart. But yeah, very smart from Thomas there, just to duck in very early to go and get some tyres, and he hasn't even lost many spots, to be honest. You know, he's in P6. He was P3 before, so he's only lost 3 positions and got tyres. So very smart decision.
Yeah, definitely a smart decision, and it's just interesting to see how it plays out. We suspect that Matty Jones's tyres aren't doing all that well at the moment either. We've had a few lockups from the front. And Timothy there obviously putting a lot of pressure on. He was having those lockups, just with that sort of aggressive driving style that he had to use to keep up with Matty. So now he's got a bit more grip in the bag, and obviously as everyone else's tyres are wearing off, it's certainly going to give him an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. It's having that advantage of rubber's always nice. So definitely know what that feeling's like. Yeah, when you've got old tyres, man, it is the worst feeling. You're just on the edge of basically grip, trying to save the thing when it cranks sideways, and what it does, you just got to hang on for dear life, basically.
Yeah, certainly a high downforce car like this, with plenty of mechanical grip, when those tyres start to go, you suddenly start to lose confidence in the car, and you need to have that confidence when you send a car down into the corner that the tyres are going to hold you there. So Adam Hughes, our safety car driver, will pull away from the field. Matty Jones takes control, maintaining 90 kph.
And we'll go green when Matty's ready. Put his right foot down. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the DSL Welding Services F3s at Phillip on, round sponsor Warren & Brown Tools. This may be the last safety car that we have all night. Daniel Burns is ready there. Ready as the fastest lap time. Can he hold on to the tyres, all 3 of them? Can Thomas come through the field? We'll find out. And Matty's getting ready. Let's see when he drops it. I think he's going to go pretty late. And he's gone. He's gone. He's jumped Daniel Byrne with an awesome little jump there. So he's got a huge lead now. There's almost a second just there. Loretti just following his teammate. Darren's following his own teammate. Meanwhile, Timothy Schoenberg on the inside. Well, Thomas has just made an awesome pass on the outside. He's got that extra grip, but he's got the cold tyres. So can he make this thing grip?
Yeah, Thomas there getting the pass done over Timothy on the restart. So Timothy, obviously, with those new tyres, doesn't have that warmth or that heat in them yet. Doesn't have the grip worn in. It's cost him, but we go too wide into Miller. Sets up a crisscross.
Oh, that's Jones gone!
Matty Jones off track, he's around. So our race leader eats the tyres.
We were talking about the tyres. Could he hold on to it? And clearly not. That's the first crash we've seen from Matty Jones all season. Let's have a look. Break it down, Brendo.
Well, it looks like he's just gone a little bit too hot. He's run off the back of the curb there. The left rear has found himself on the grass, and as he's tried to turn in to get that wide line through Siberia, the car's just rotated on him instantly, and he hasn't actually hit the tyres as hard as I first thought. But yeah, you see there coming through Miller, takes it pretty well, just uses a bit too much of the exit curb. And yeah, dips that wheel on the grass, there's no grip out there, and as he's gone to turn through that little kink to set up for Siberia, the car's just rotated on him straight away. He has actually hit the wall. My first thought was he hit the wall quite hard, but what it has done is lost him a whole lot of track position. He's managed to already pick up one position. He's currently running in 12th behind Scotty Bargin, but he's got some time to make up.
He's got a lot of time to come back with, but we know Matty Jones and we know he's quit, so Brad Hudson, we're on board. Have a look at the battle in the front. Jeff Tomfers and Matthew Pignata coming back through the field. He obviously had that drive-through, but it looked like it hasn't affected him. So, one of the kitten cars putting pressure on John King as well. Andrew Lydon. Oh, a bit of a lock-up at the front, but look who's leading now. Daniel Bird's leading the field, and Thomas is trying to get around one of the JWM cars, and it's 3 kittens. 1, 2, 3. This is awesome as Thomas makes a move. What a great move on Tim there. Just right on the exit. He probably should have waited a bit longer, but he hasn't got the move done. He's tucked back in. Maybe he can make it last minute on the outside. So he's got the inside for the next corner. Does he have it? No. Oh, he's on the outside now. Does he do the crisscross? No, he doesn't. Does he cut back in? No, doesn't have the run.
And we've had a change for the lead up the front. Adrian Loretti has made the move on teammate Daniel Burns. So Adrian Loretti there, who showed pace right from the get-go here, makes the pass. We'll jump to the DSL Welding Services replay. We'll see. Yeah, pretty textbook really. Has the slipstream, pulls out into the first corner.
Yeah, great move there. Great move.
Yeah, clean pass.
I don't think he could have done much better than that. He did an absolutely amazing job there.
So Adrian Loretti now leads the race, and he hasn't managed to pull away too much of a gap. I think the Kitten boys are going to stick together here largely. Timothy, with the fresh tyres though, has found his way up into 4th place. He's a couple of seconds adrift of Darren Fahey, who is in 3rd. Michael Pinata had a little bit of an off track as well, so he dropped a position. He's currently sitting down in 6th. That drive-through penalty hasn't really hurt him too much, given that we had the safety car immediately after. It's given him a good chance to get back into the pack. And he's currently chasing down Thomas and Tim. Doing a pretty good job of it as well as they're battling. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I've got echo.
Oh, is there an echo?
Yeah, I think my mic's echoing a little bit, but I can't quite work out why.
I think it could have been mine. All good. So, back to it. Daniel Byrne, sorry ladies and gentlemen, having technical issues there. Daniel Byrne just trying to chase down his teammate, and Darren Fahey, the dude that has the broken finger that we've been hearing about for the last bloody 6 months about. With he's racing up the field in P3, he's doing well. I wonder if Tom can come back with the fresh tyres though. He's out of draft though. This is This is going to ruin Tom if he can't reel him back in. He just needs sheer pace now.
Yeah, that draft's so critical. We just see Jeff Thomas there trying to make a move over Andrew Lydon. Get stuck around the outside of the hairpin. Unable to do it. And race control there just issuing a warning for moving under brakes. I didn't quite catch the race number. But race control certainly keeping an eye out there for driver's conduct. And Darren Fahey and Timothy back in the pit lane again. So not quite sure what the go is there. This could be fuel to the finish just about, maybe. Trying to do that undercut again, Timothy. So a double undercut potentially on the cards. I don't know if they'll quite have enough fuel to finish here with 20 minutes remaining in the session.
Yeah, they won't have enough fuel. I reckon they're just going to drain it a bit more. Try and get every little drop out of these things. If it's a double stop, they're on the cards then. So let's we'll wait and see for if it's a double stop or the one stopper. But look at Tom, he's really bringing them back in. The tyres are up to temp now. Matty Jones is coming through the pack as well on the P7.
Yeah, he's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 22.3. He's got Scott Bargen there also fighting for position. So those two are sort of making their way through the field a little bit. They're now chasing down Andrew Lydon. They're right on the back of the two kit cars there because Jeff Thomas also in the pack.
Yeah, doing really well. So we'll see what Jeff Thomas can make of it in P5 as well. So on Pignata up in front. So Thomas and Pignata are 3 and 4. They're teammates. They can work together here. See what they can do with it. So Daniel Byrne's still leading as well. I think they've swapped positions. So on board with Daniel Byrne now on the back of the diffuser here in the gearbox. So
Scotty Bargen just calling in one to race control there. Not quite sure what the cause was there. Missed the call. I just saw the driver number pop up. 979 Scotty Bargen called into race control. Let's get Toddy to see if there's anything popping up on the incident screen. Could just be potentially
we'll
moving.
Have a look. We'll have a look and see what happens. So Scotty Bargen, see if there's anything there. But Loretti really on the back here, trying to really reel him in. DSL Welding Services replay here now. John King, let's see what happened here. 2 leaders now in the pit lane, 1-2. So let's see if anyone else boxes. The Alpha Insuries are still out, so Matthew Pignata and Thomas Sanderson. So let's see what happens with strategy now. This is really interesting.
Yeah, well, Sanderson already made his third pit stop a couple of laps ago. And Pignata also made his pit stop, his fourth pit stop rather. Oh no, sorry, yes, third drive-through counts, yes. So yeah, made his third pit stop 1 lap prior to the leaders as well. So they've almost jumped the leaders with the strategy here.
I reckon Tom's on for a win here because he did box for tyres. Did he take fuel as well? That's the main question. If he did, if he put an extra bit of drop in it, he could be on a bit of a win here. So apparently he has done a 7-second pit stop, so fuel could go. Went in. So we'll wait and see. So Tom is still out. So we'll see what happens. Running on board with Tom now. There's Matthew Pignata, teammate as well. Tom's in though. So apparently not just tyres, but Pignata stays out. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, so Pignata transited the lane lap 21. Sorry, lap 20. So he must be getting pretty close to his next fuel cycle. They've been averaging about sort of 9 or 10 laps, so would maybe expect to see him in next lap as well.
Yeah, Bradley Hudson and Scotty Bargen stay out too. So this could be even more interesting.
Yeah, Brad Hudson all over the back of Scott Bargin right now. Starting to close in that gap, trying to find his opportunity.
Yeah, definitely trying to find any mistake he can throw at him. The kitchen sink, as we were calling it before, in the TCRs. Meanwhile, teammates are fighting it. Loretti, and I think that would be Darren Fahey. Or Thomas, Thomas there, trying to fight back as well. Doing the fresh tyres as well. So he's got the freshest tyres out of the whole field. Scotty Bargin is still staying out, so this is interesting.
Yeah, a few little wiggles into the braking zone there as the older tyres starting to show their age. And also that battle between the cold tyres as well. Trying to find it. Scotty Bargin now diving into the pit lane. Bernarda and also as is Hudson. So the three currently running in the top three will yield. The provisional leaders will come back through. Daniel Byrne, Darren Fahey and Adrian Loretti, the three kitten cars. Jump on board with Adrian now. Amazing cockpit view here in the F3s. Oh, sorry, Daniel, sorry. Amazing cockpit view here in the F3s. Really good visibility around. There's that mirror right there. And almost a bit of a VR effect here as well from that helmet cam. You can see the car turning in. You spot those tyres, you put them on the marks. Keeping it nice and tight there through the southern loop. Down into Doohan, into Miller Corner.
Yeah, definitely holding on to the tyre as well. Daniel Byrne might just need to save it for a bit more as well, because there could be a safety car as well. So that's what I'd be worried about if I was in Daniel Byrne's situation. He's got a nice little gap though, the Loretti though, and Darren Fahey. So he's doing alright here, old Daniel. So coming on to Leaky Heights. Right to the top of the hill. What a great little sensation, little noise, a little 2-litre turbo. Tiny little engine, absolutely tiny. Smaller than the probably a Ford Focus engine.
Yeah, but it's all about the compression, of course, here in these little open wheel cars. They run them at such high pressure, such high RPM. Makes all the difference. It's all about how that power gets delivered. They're kind of almost like a motorbike in the way they deliver their power, really. Just high RPM, high power.
So that's what I've always been taught. Suck, bang, pop. So yeah, that's the word of the night for the F3s. So Matthew Pignata in P7 trying to work his way through. So Pignata just behind Jeff Thomas right now. I think Jeff's done a bit of an undercut on him, so he's done well there. And Scotty Barton in P8, not far behind Pignata either. So this could be interesting on strategy-wise, how much fuel everyone's kind of got. Does everyone do a bit of an undercut and risk it, or do you try and stay out as long as possible and clutch in a little bit and, you know, save it with a bit of fuel lift off? So we'll see what happens with that. What would you do, Brendo?
Definitely. I think the key here, especially as we go later on, is to have the fuel at the end. So yeah, definitely a bit of fuel saving now. Try and get down to those last sort of, I don't know, those last few minutes where they can sort of go in for a quick splash and dash, and then have the fuel handy to come to the end. Obviously, we're not probably going to take tyres here going into the last 12 minutes of the race, as Sanderson and Jones start moving up on the chart again. Jones sets the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's absolutely blowing the times out of the water. Matty Jones really on the hunt now. Matthew Pignata
move around the outside as well.
Now on the inside, the crisscrosses. Oh, so close to Jeff Thomas, almost contact. That could have been absolutely dreadful. The cars could have been in pieces. Not long to go at all now. Almost 10 minutes to go. Jeff almost throws it up the inside. And Pignata covers it. Pignata's great at covering. He's been one of the best attackers all season, and he's just dropped it. Oh, the curse of the commentators. Oh no!
Up and down tonight. He's found himself in some trouble. He's had some great drives back up the field, but just lacking that consistency to make anything stick. Very similar to the Matty Jones incident, just using a little bit too much of the curb there on the exit of Miller.
Matty Jones, what a great drive back from the field. He spun out right to the back of the field, and look at this. You just got to respect how fast this dude is.
Yeah, definitely Matty Jones now starting to close in that gap. He's reeling in the top sort of 3 or 4 cars. Not too much between Thomas and Adrian. John King goes into the pit lane as well, so this will be fuel to the finish, I would think, for him.
Yeah, definitely.
In 11th.
Definitely tenure burn all these kitten cars. I'd be worrying to see what Matty Jones and Thomas have got up their sleeves. Every race car driver's got something up their sleeve. So let's see what they've got planned. Do they go? You know, how much fuel do they need to put in the end? Do they need to put a litre less than, you know, Daniel Byrne or Loretti? That, you know, litres, you know, people don't think about it. That if you can take off 3 litres, you're good. That saves you so much time. I've already talked about that tonight. But then Fahey up to the top of the hill, Loretti following right behind him. No, that's the other way around.
Yeah, no, Loretti slipped through. Loretti got up the inside of Miller. Great little pass from Loretti. Pulls out, makes the dive into Miller. Has the run through Siberia in the S's. And at the moment, they're just chasing down Byrne. He's just starting to pull away a little bit, trying to extend that gap out just over that 2nd mark. But Fahey and Loretti are working together a little bit, not fighting too hard. They're certainly pulling away from Sanderson. He's not able to close that gap. Back there in 3rd, he's currently being chased down by Matty Jones. In 4th, currently being chased down by Matty Jones in 5th. And we're just waiting to see how the strategy unfolds now. 8 minutes to go. Another, 5 or 6 laps potentially. And it could be a quick little splash and dash for fuel. Maybe some of them have got enough to get home.
Yeah, definitely, to see what happens. Opens up the strategy. So Timothy Schellenberg and his teammate are in. So the 2 JWM cars, Jeff Thomas as well.
Yeah, Jeff Thomas has been a bit of a quiet achiever tonight, really. He's had a bit of stream time. We've seen him on, you know, sporadically making moves, but you know, position-wise and how he's managed his race has been very good. I've been quite impressed watching him race tonight. He's certainly been there or thereabouts, and depending on how this little last pit shuffle goes, he's in for a really good result here as well.
It is definitely results are the main key. Talking about championships as well. Matty Jones on 986 points, Adrian Loretti on 893. So
the top 3 are in.
Let's see what happens with points, but all 3 are in.
So Thomas Sanderson staying out, as is Matty Jones. Matty Jones pitted on lap 28. Thomas Sanderson pitted on lap 29. Of course, we're now on lap 36. So assuming roughly 9 laps of fuel in these cars, that'll put them onto about lap. That'll be about now. So yeah, Sanderson and Jones will be pitting again, probably next time by, I would think. The kitten cars rejoin the track.
So look at this, Scotty Barton just getting around one of the kittens now into P3. So I wonder if Scotty's got enough here. It's only 5 minutes. Can he just save that extra little bit? If he drops a bit of time back, it doesn't really matter because everyone's in the pit lane. If he could stay out, that's a huge win for Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty's last time through the lane was on lap 30. So potentially if he plays the time game, he could have enough to get home. Be very close though. You'll need some pretty aggressive fuel saving, but certainly not Thomas Sanderson staying out for another lap. Scotty Barton goes in as well, so this will be a splash and dash for these 2. Andrew Lydon going in the pits as well.
5 minutes worth of fuel. Absolute F all. Let's have a look. See what the times are like. Let's see where Matty Jones heads out on. Where's Thomas?
Yeah, very quick splash and dash.
All out.
Anderson, though, in the lead. He's got a 9-second lead over Brad Hudson right now. Brad Hudson will need a pit as well. His last pit stop was on lap 30, as was Matthew Pinada's. So both of those two you would expect possibly needing to take fuel, unless they are using a very aggressive fuel-saving strategy. We jump back to Darren Fahey in 6th place. Provisional 3rd as it stands right now.
Yeah, I wonder where Thomas comes out in this, because Tom was in front of Matty Jones. So where does he come out in this whole situation? He does have fresh tyres. He wants to stay out as long as possible, have that clean air. I was talking about that before in the TCRs, so he's in now. Let's see how quick his pit stop is. Late on the brakes, trying to get the thing pulled up. Nice, he's in the pit lane. Alpha Venturi, Thomas, let's have a look. Daniel Burns coming around on the second last corner now. It's going to be very close. It's going to be absolutely nothing in it.
And Brad Hudson stays out for an extra lap, as does Matthew Pinada. So those two trying to stretch out their fuel tank as much as possible.
Tom's coming out now. Let's have a look. Race to the line. Doesn't have all three. He's got two of them. He got one of them. So Thomas is in P3 right now.
No, he slipped back one more. Didn't quite have the pace coming into the corner. Straight line from Fahey too fast. Manages to make the move straight away. So tucks in right behind the 3 kitten cars though. Provisional 4th as it sits right now for Thomas Anderson. Obviously he's got a bit more fuel in the tank. He can afford to burn a little bit more though.
This would be an absolute great win for the Kittens tonight, but for Thomas, this would be absolutely awesome to put it on 3rd tonight. It could almost go for a win here tonight as well. Matthew Pignata's still out, so is Brad Hudson. I wonder if they can stay out for an extra couple of minutes. Be some serious fuel saving, as Brendo has said, but hey, if you can stay out and still be in the lead, that's never bad. Brad Hudson still stays out for another run. This is very interesting, Brendo.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I would expect that Hudson and Pignata don't have a heck of a lot of fuel. They're obviously trying to hedge their bets on the time game. It'd be interesting to see how their lap times are really compared to the rest of the field. I know Hudson's last lap was a 124.0 as opposed to the Kittens, which are currently running 123.3s, 123.2s. So, 7 to 8 tenths a lap faster for these guys chasing them down, but they have got about a 9-second advantage currently over the kitten cars chasing them down. So yeah, the numbers, the math really all kind of up in the air right now. With 2 minutes to go, they would probably almost expect to see the white next time by.
Sorry to cut you off, but Loretti and Daniel are having a battle, and Thomas has made a move on now on Loretti. This could be almost a win for Thomas here. This would be a great win here tonight. But let's see if Brad and Pignata can stay out even longer. So technically, Daniel's actually P3. Oh, this is huge.
Yeah, that was a great move from Thomas Anderson, getting both those kitten cars in the one move and holding them off. And he's chasing down Daniel Byrne too. He's certainly got pace. Hudson goes into the pit lane. Pinata in the pit lane as well, so they've pretty much conceded their positions there as the battle pack for the lead, so to speak, coming out of the hairpin and down the straight. They definitely won't be able to fight them.
Can this be last lap? Let's have a look. Is there a white flag up? Yes, the white flag's up. Oh, the guys that could have had another lap in. They'd be gutted. Lovrati on the outside trying to get the run. This is P2 we're fighting for. So Thomas on the outside, Loretti in the inside. Loretti will have a good run out of the corner, but Thomas will have a slingshot. Fahey's right there too. Fahey could do something about this, help his teammate out. Oh, Loretti's on the good side here. Really good side. Any contact? No, almost through wide. Oh, contact!
Big contact!
Loretti and Thomas are around. So it's Daniel, Fahey and Matty Jones in this now. Oh no, that's devastating. Absolutely devastating for those two.
So So the call there was a potential move under brakes, race control. We'll be reviewing that. Obviously, it'll go post-race penalty, if anything, at this point now, being the last lap. But yeah, all of a sudden, Matty Jones back up into the top 3. And he's only half a second off Darren Fahey. I don't think he's going to quite have enough time to get a move done. Thomas Anderson manages to recover pretty well from that little incident. He'll come home in 4th. But we do cross up to the finish line now. And Daniel Byrne in the kitten car will bring it home. The chicken flag waving. Followed by Darren Fahey in 2nd and Matty Jones. Well, as a result of that bit of fortune there, finds himself coming home in 3rd place.
What an awesome result for those Kenton cars. 1-2 finish. It's never bad in the books. So Matty Jones in P3 as well. So they're your top 3. So we'll have to throw them in the green room and have a bit of a chat to them, because that was a wild race.
Certainly was. There was plenty of action to be had. There was some great passing manoeuvres. A little bit of contact here and there caused some exciting little moments on the track. But yeah, an hour endurance race. And I tell you what, that first 20 minutes, whilst it seemed a bit slow, the second 40 certainly seemed to fly by. It was a very action-packed race.
Oh, so Fahey's scared Thomas, and Thomas has reacted, and then yep.
Yeah, so potentially, well, I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's a hard call.
Yeah, squeezed him a little bit, that's for sure. But yeah, definitely reacting to the car behind. So we have to wait to see how race control determines that one. It will be post-race anyway. Probably like a grid position penalty for the next round, actually, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. So there's your result. Daniel Byrne, Darren Fahey, and Matty Jones in P3. From absolutely spinning out and coming last, went to last. Daniel Byrne, what a drive he's had from P3 out of the grid, and Darren Fahey from his finger. That's the first time he's got a podium. So well done to him. Definitely not bad at all. So he's done really well there. It's two kids.
Yeah, definitely a dominant performance from the Kittens tonight. They ran very, very well as a team. You know, not holding up the field at all, but certainly working together to achieve a good team result there.
Matty Jones just jumped in he's in the green room. We'll give it a bit and wait until he finishes his burnouts. And we'll throw.
Oh, I forgot to save that replay. Whoops, my bad. Oh well.
Darren Fahey will throw
it.
And
alrighty, so all the drivers now in the green room.
Let's do
just check with Toddy we're still there. You right? Yep, cool. Alrighty. Matty Jones, 3rd place tonight, mate. Talk us through your race.
Really good. Yeah, it was absolutely shitting it in and then killed myself. So a little bit disappointed with the overall outcome, but pretty happy to get back to P3 from where I was there after that last safety car. So
I was going to say, mate, you've been saying it the whole season. You've been teaching everyone, and for once, you just had the best battle of your life in SRW, mate. How was that? With Thomas at the start.
Oh, look, he probably killed both of our races, really. If he had used his head a little bit more, we probably could have just checked out. We both had good pace, but on a drafty track like this, if you try and fight too much, yeah, you just keep the rest of the pack in it. So, no, it was good fun, but not optimal race strategy, that's for sure.
Definitely, man. But hey, we're all here for a bit of fun, and
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, definitely not bad commentated at all. I think I ran out of oxygen at one point, mate.
No, that's good.
But how was the strategy, mate? Talking about strategy.
Well, if there was only one safety car, there would have been it would have been a big fuel save to try and get 5 stops. To get 4 stops, 5 stints. But no, with the safety car, it sort of threw that out. We were able just to go flat out till the end. So, yeah, yeah, it kind of ended up where you were always gonna be about 3 litres short. So yeah, it was no big deal. But no, it was a good race. Saved a lot of fuel there in the first couple of stints. I think I was able to go a lap longer than most of the guys. So I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, no, I'm pretty yeah, I threw away a race win tonight, so I'm pretty upset, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like the fuel was the way to go, strategy-wise, and yeah, as you say, that spin there costing you pretty well, but a great recovery drive nonetheless, mate.
No, thanks very much. I'm very happy with P3. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, could have certainly been a top stepper, but well done to Daniel and Darren definitely, and yeah, not sure what happened with Adrian and was it Adrian and Brad that got together?
No, it was Tom.
Adrian and Tom.
Oh, okay. Yep. But yeah, bad luck to those guys. They'd put themselves in a really good position there for the end, and yeah, bring on next week. I think the old championship fight's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems that across all the leagues, the championships are really starting to heat up into the end of the battle, which is great to see for SOW on the whole, but also for the drivers as well, gives them something to really fight for.
That's it.
Well, mate, P3 for tonight. You can't be upset with that. Who would you like to thank?
No. So yeah, well, as always, all the boys at Centre Sim Sports, Precision Performance Shop, ProServe Finance, Sydney Computers, AJ Insurance Services, Transform Media, and Pixel Blocks. Thanks very much to those guys, and thanks to the commentary team. I look forward to watching it back later on and watching myself fail.
Oh, mate, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. I've driven these things before. It doesn't take much, mate.
I just got the left rear on the grass a little bit, and that was the end of it. But,
yeah, little mistakes, mate. That's all it takes, eh?
Yep,
little
absolutely.
mistakes. So, but hey, well done, mate, for the comeback drive, mate. What an absolute drive. Well done, Matty Jones, ladies and gentlemen. P3.
Thanks, boys. Cheers.
Yeah, mate. So now for P2, mate. What an absolute drive, mate.
Yeah, I stuffed up, I think, lap 1, turn 4. But yeah, just got my head down and stayed out of trouble.
Mate, obviously the Cowie not in the booth tonight, so we didn't have any kit and drama tonight. So, but mate, what a dominant performance from the whole Kitten boys tonight. From the start of it, P7 to P3 it was, and then in the end it was the whole podium.
Yeah, we were sort of, we agreed not to battle for a while, but then Thomas was kind of quick and I couldn't hold him off. But I just thought with positioning and we might be able to out drag him for the last lap or something, but it all went pear-shaped in the end.
Go for it, Brendan.
Oh, sorry, no, I was just on a different screen. You know, it certainly seemed like the kit team were running quite well together, and Thomas certainly had the pace, and towards the end there, it definitely changed up the game plan a little bit. How did the pit stop strategy, the fuel savings, all that kind of thing play into the final laps of that race there, mate?
Honestly, it's not something I study. I just come in and I'll ask the boys during the race, what am I doing? Am I pitting now? And I thought I should have come in an extra time during a safety car, but I didn't. And I had 1 lap. I think I had 1 litre actually left when I crossed the line, and 1 lap, and then I ran out of fuel. I couldn't even do burnouts in the end, so that's how time I was cutting it.
Always disappointing when you can't get the spins going, eh, mate? Hey, who do you need to thank for tonight, mate?
Yeah, thank Leanne, my partner, Harper, my little daughter. She loves it. Doesn't understand what Kittens is yet, which is good. Kittens, always thank them. AML Tech and driver 808.
Mate, what an absolute drive tonight, mate. P2, mate. You can't be upset with that. Well done, mate.
Thanks, boys. Thank you.
Righty, and straight into our race winner for this evening. Also from Kitten Racing's Daniel Byrne. Talk us through your race, mate.
Hey guys, yeah, wrapped. First time I've won in the SRW league, so really happy with that. Yeah, it was tricky at the start. I was had good qualifying. I knew Maddie in front was going to be really quick, and I knew Thomas was quick as well. So I kind of planned to play it safe the first few laps and sit behind them and kind of see what they were doing. They were battling a little bit. I was secretly hoping they were going to come together, but it was actually pretty good watching them. It was good.
Yeah, it was certainly a exciting battle to watch those two, and Maddie suggesting it probably wasn't the greatest strategy-wise to be battling all the time. They could have, you know, worked together a little bit, but certainly put on great racing for us and gave you guys a good chance to keep in the fight. Obviously that spin gave you a bit of an advantage going through, but then the pit stops and the fuel saving seemed to be the key for this race. How did your strategy play out tonight, mate?
Yeah, well, because I was sitting behind them for so long, and I was actually, I had a few opportunities to pass Thomas Sanderson, but I decided to sit back and just kind of fuel save as much as I could. I was hoping to fuel save enough to go an extra lap, which couldn't quite do in the end, but that was basically the plan, really, try and save as much as I could. And yeah, just when I had to pit, I just go in and pit as quickly as possible, and yeah, every pit was clean, so came out and yeah, it was a good result.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Did the timing of that safety car hurt you very much at all, or not really?
It was pretty scary because I just pulled into the pits when they called the safety car, and I was behind Maddie, and we just came out before the safety car came out, so we managed to stay ahead and fuel up as well. So yeah, we didn't lose out. It was very close to us losing out, but yeah, that played into our hands a little bit, I think. And it was interesting. I think Thomas Sanderson, I think he might have pitted again during the same safety car. I'm not sure what the strategy was there, but it almost worked for him.
He did. We seem to think he took right-hand side tyres, but obviously we can't confirm that from commentary, but that was sort of the impression we got, because it was certainly a longer stop the second time around, which, as you say, certainly seemed to work in his favour. He was moving up the field pretty quickly there at the end.
Yeah, that might have been what it is, because yeah, he had really good pace. I was able to match his pace earlier in the race, and then I was watching the timing screen, and he definitely picked up the pace. So yeah, it's possible he had tyres. I'm not sure if in the F3, I think he needs to change all 4 tyres. I don't think he can change them individually. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, just I'm wrapped though. It was so close to being a 1-2-3 with the kids guys. The guys had a couple of mishaps. David had really good pace, but he had a technical issue with his steering wheel and went off. And then yeah, Adrian also was right in the battle, but came to get in the last lap. I think I just saw it in the back.
Yeah, that last lap coming out of Miller. Yeah, certainly a dominant performance from the Kitten team. Plenty of potential there, but as you say, just the two of you making it onto the podium. Who do you need to thank tonight, mate?
Just want to say hi to Bianca, Atari, my daughter, Kittens Racing, Drug Radar 8 on YouTube and TikTok, AML Technology, and the guys at Carlin's.
Yes,
cheers, guys, thanks.
I was going to say well done, mate, and have a good one, mate. Awesome drive.
Thank you. Cheers. See you guys.
Yeah. Mate, I think we've pretty much wrapped it all up. What a race tonight, eh? I don't think we could have got any better with TCRs and F3 tonight, and mate, how good.
Yeah, certainly been some action-packed racing from both ends of the spectrum, and you know, I think the biggest takeaway from tonight is not only just the racing on track, but you know, I've mentioned a couple of times throughout the broadcast, you know, we saw it last night in the sprint cars, we've seen it again today. We're going into the penultimate round here, and the results are still really anybody's. All the championships are really just up for grabs. The points are so close, which from a league's point of view is so great to see. Obviously, we've got a great level of competition throughout our league. We've got plenty of guys here that are running at the top and in contention. Obviously, we've got these guys a little bit further down the grid that are, you know, setting their own personal goals, and for the most part, from what I'm hearing at least anyway, a lot of them are achieving them. So, you know, that sort of community, that sort of spirit, that competitiveness, it's all there, and what more can you really ask for in a league? You know, to get down to, you know, 8 weeks of 9 and to sort of have everything flowing really nicely, everybody being competitive, friendly and sociable, and it really just gives me great excitement as we come into the final week, because, you know, we're in for some great racing next week.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, it's getting pretty good, and I can't wait until to commentate it with you, mate, on Friday. It's going to be an absolutely hectic race, mate.
Yeah, definitely Hungaroring for us on Friday in the GT3 series. Obviously a track I'm familiar with through Formula 1, but haven't actually had the chance to get onto it on iRacing yet. Haven't clicked the buy now button. So that's something I'll have to do throughout the week, and hopefully I can get a little bit of time on the track as well, just to sort of refamiliarise myself with it. But yeah, certainly looking forward to that one, and again another championship which you know, really is just there for the taking. Anybody can jump up with a couple of good results in these next 2 weeks and steal that one as well. So yeah, really exciting couple of weeks ahead for SRW as we round off season 2, and yeah, obviously we've got that big racecraft promotion with our YouTube channel. If you haven't clicked subscribe already, make sure you do so. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, there will be that massive giveaway. All of our other sponsors, DSL Welding Services, Warren and Brown Tools, Toyosim, Dragon RC, Melville Equipment, did I say Toyosim already? I think I did.
Yeah.
You know, and to everyone else that puts all this together, we had Greg and Adam in RC tonight, Chef Toddy up in the production, and yeah, obviously myself and you, Connor, as well here commentating. It all just comes together, and yeah, look, hey, it's been a great night, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week and next week as well.
Oh, mate, honestly, me and you make a good combo, and I can't wait for the next time we commentate together, mate. So, for everyone that's watching, let's wrap it up, and thanks for everyone for watching. It's been Chef Toddy in the background, myself, Connor Nixon, Brendo, just absolutely been an awesome commentator. Love him. So, from everyone from here, the comms, race control, everyone that's in the background, have a good one, guys.